Chapter 648. Holy Radiance, Epic Skill. Upon activation, the user becomes immune to all attacks within a 200 range. Class requirement: Common, Hiss. A common epic skill. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw the skill book's attribute. The god puppet really was full of good stuff. It even had an epic skill, and it was a common one. Currently, melee class's normal attack range was between 80 and 200. Only ranged classes could deal normal attacks beyond 200 range. Immunity to attacks beyond 200 range. Not only was it immune to ranged attacks, but it was also immune to some melee classes' skills. As a result, this skill was practically the bane of ranged classes. After all, ranged classes were born to kite. As long as one wasn't an idiot, no ranged class would stand within 200 range when attacking their target. Most importantly, Holy Radiance was not a specific class skill. It was a common skill. If ranged classes learned Holy Radiance, they would be invincible against the same class. If melee classes learned Holy Radiance, they would no longer be afraid of ranged kiting. It was no wonder Dream said that everyone had to bid for this skill. No one would be able to resist the temptation of this skill. I failed my quest. Is there any compensation? Mingdu raised his hand and asked before anyone could bid. What kind of compensation? Everyone asked. Mingdu looked at Holy Radiance in Dream's hand and said, "Forget about the staff. I think this skill book is quite useful. Can everyone F***ck off?" Before Mingdu could finish his sentence, he was interrupted by everyone's unanimous F***ck off. Damn, I'm our guild's main damage dealer. With this skill, you won't have to protect me. I'm doing this for your own good. Mingdu shouted shamelessly. He was clearly doing this for his own survival, yet he used the excuse of doing this for others. His shamelessness was obvious. Life and death are decreed by fate. You deserve to die. 3,000 gold. Famous Sword, Snowpath, was the first to raise the price after rebuking Mingdu going by the exchange rate of RMB to gold coins. 3,000 gold coins was 300,000. Even if this skill book was placed on the trading platform after deducting taxes, it would not be a problem to sell it for around 170,000 renminbi. Since Famous Sword had asked for 3,000 gold coins, one could easily see the value of this skill book. Seeing Ming Jian Daoshua's bid, the others instantly calmed down. Aside from to place one's pride and Yang Na, who weren't lacking in money, everyone else was an ordinary person. $170,000 to $180,000 was an ordinary person's annual income. Spending $170,000 to buy a shield like Yin Lao Air's wasn't a big deal. After all, if they stopped playing the game, they could still sell the equipment and make a profit. However, after learning a skill, it could not be traded. The account in Rebirth was directly tied to the player's identity, so there was no such thing as trading accounts. Whether to buy it or not, he had to consider it carefully. This was especially true for Grace. When he heard famed Sword Dao Shue's bid, he immediately shut his mouth and put his money pouch back. Good steel should be used on the blade's edge. There was no need to spend so many years to buy such a skill book. No one is following? In that case, I'll pay 3,001 gold. Mingdu looked left and right at the others. Seeing that no one else was interested, he increased his bid. Me and 3,500 gold, to place one's pride giggled. Mingdu said angrily, F***ck, whose kid is this? Why aren't you going to learn it? Even Soaring Dragon Company didn't stipulate that kids can't play games. Who do you think you are to stop me? To place one's pride gave him the middle finger. 3,501 gold, Mingdu increased his bid for the second time. To place one's pride was just about to raise his bid again when Mingdu grabbed on to place one's pride's arm and said, "Little friend, I know a lot of beautiful girls. As long as you don't go against me, I'll introduce them to you another day." Really? To place one's pride's eyes lit up. Of course. It's a deal. This idiot. When everyone saw that to place one's pride was tricked so easily, they felt so sorry for him that they almost cried. Looking at the thick calluses on Mingdu's palm, they couldn't believe his nonsense either. Dao Shui, are you still following? After to place one's pride gave up, Mingdu asked Dao Shui. No, you can take it and play, Dao Shui said with a shrug. Assassins had short arms and knew how to move in stealth. Shining holy light was the least effective against assassins. The reason why Dao Shui called out a bid was entirely due to his businessman's instincts. Since Mingdu had already raised the price to 3,501 gold, there was naturally no need for him to spend so much money to compete with him for a skill that was useless to him. Then I'll keep it, haha. Just as Mingdu was about to reach for the skill book with a grin, Yin Lao Air suddenly shouted, I bid 5,000 gold. F***ck, are you crazy? Mingdu shouted angrily when he heard Yin Lao Air's bid. 5,000 gold? There was no way Mingdu would follow. After all, Mingdu was a ranged class. The reason he learned this skill was so that he wouldn't be countered by others. 5,000 gold was far beyond his bottom line. Yin Lao Air chuckled, hee hee, what do you know? In my hands this skill is worth far more than that. That was true. Shield bearers countered melee classes. Their only nemesis was mages, who had high magic damage. With shining holy light, mages' attacks were ineffective against them. Although the attack range of a shield was only 100 meters, no ranged class would attack within 200 meters of a shield bearer. After all, a shield bearer's taunt range was 500 meters. F***ck off. Mingdu was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. Alright, if you can't afford it, then scram. Exquisite Dream rolled her eyes at Mingdu and handed shining holy light to Yin Lao Air. Everyone's faces were filled with envy once more. A godly weapon and an epic skill. If there were no surprises, the one who would gain the most from this dungeon would definitely be Yin Lao Air. Although the items that Exquisite Dream looted were not bad, with the 3 skills and equipment at the start, the quality of the items at the end was completely overshadowed. They were all level 60 gold grade equipment. Although the attributes were good, everyone had just reached level 40. They were still a long way from level 60. They were not godly weapons like the Divine Shield, so naturally, no one would spend money on an unknown item. After looting the boss, everyone was teleported back to the docks. System notification: you have completed Dungeon XXX. As Atlan City was a level 60 dungeon, the EXP was quite high. After the system notification, everyone's EXP soared, making everyone excited. Let's go, my treat. Let's go to the tavern to celebrate, Yin Lao Air said excitedly. He had made the most out of this dungeon, so it would be inappropriate if he did not treat them. Chapter 649. After going offline, Wang Yu took off his helmet and looked at his watch. It was already 11 at night. Logically speaking, Wang Yu was a person who was very strict with his work and rest schedule. He usually had his meals on time when he played games. This was the first time he had played for such a long time. From morning till now, he had played for more than 10 hours. The group of gaming geeks from the Chuanjian sect had long been used to playing games day and night. Naturally, they had the energy to go and drink. Wang Yu was used to a healthy schedule. After playing for such a long time, she felt a little tired. The north was not like the south. In the north, everyone went to bed early in the winter. At this time, Mu Zixin was lying on the desk. She seemed to have fallen asleep. There was food beside her, but it was already cold. Seeing this, Wang Yu stealthily moved the gaming equipment to the side and tiptoed out of the room. After washing up and returning to the bedroom, she accidentally closed the door a little too forcefully. Mu Zixin suddenly sat up in front of the table. "Hubby, are you done?" Mu Zixin said sleepily. "You must be hungry. I will heat up the food for you." Wang Yu waved his hand. "If you are tired, rest first. I will do it myself. Come on, you are a young master. I am afraid you will light the house up. Mu Zixin smiled. Am I that bad? Wang Yu was depressed. Mu Zixin looked at Wang Yu and said, No, I just want to accompany you a little longer. With that, Mu Zixin took the food and went to the kitchen. Looking at Mu Zixin's back, Wang Yu suddenly felt a little upset. Although he had earned a little money these days, he worked from 9 to 5 every day. Not to mention accompanying his wife. He didn't even have the time to talk. In the past, the two of them could go out for a walk after dinner. Now, Wang Yu went offline later and later. The time they spent together was getting less and less. When he couldn't earn money, he couldn't give his wife material satisfaction. When he earned money, he couldn't spend more time with his family. This was a man's greatest helplessness. Soon, the dishes were ready. Mu Zixin brought the dishes back to the bedroom and saw Wang Yu alone in deep thought. She couldn't help but ask, What's wrong? You don't look very happy. No. Wang Yu smiled and said, I'm just wondering if I've been spending less and less time with you recently. What do you think? You haven't gone shopping with me in a long time. Mu Zixin placed the food on the table and said with a cold face, When Wang Yu saw that Mu Zixin was suddenly angry, he immediately became helpless. Mu Zixin looked at Wang Yu's silly look and suddenly giggled. I know, you have to work too. Speaking of which, you went offline really late today. You didn't even eat lunch. In the future, you can earn less money, but your health is the most important. Otherwise, if your family finds out that you didn't practice martial arts well and even got sick all over, wouldn't they turn the sky upside down? I couldn't help it. I was busy with a mission today, so I couldn't go offline in the middle of it. Wang Yu said helplessly. This could be considered as people in the pugilistic world having no choice. It's really been hard on you. Mu Zixin touched Wang Yu's head and said with a little heartache. It's worth it. Wang Yu smiled and got off the bed. He grabbed the steamed bun and chopsticks and began eating. Sigh. Seeing that Wang Yu was enjoying it, Mu Zixin couldn't help but sigh and said to herself, Am I going to let you be busy like this for the rest of your life? Most men were like that. If they wanted to earn money to support their family, they had to give up a lot of time to do other things. As for dreams and whatnot, when they were in their 30s, they had almost forgotten them. Wang Yu's father was right. Only with enough money could he do what he wanted to do. Otherwise, he would be busy for money for the rest of his life. How would he have the energy to do other things? Seeing that Wang Yu was immersed in the game every day, wasting his martial arts, Mu Zixin suddenly felt that Wang Yu's father's words made sense. A person like Wang Yu wasn't someone that ordinary people could support. Even if they could support him, they would only turn him into a mediocre person who ran around for money. Perhaps to many families, running around for a living wasn't shameful. But to the Wang family, who didn't lack money, Wang Yu was the future and hope of their family. Destroying someone's future was a hatred that ran deeper than killing an entire family. Hubby, now that we have some money, and we have a shop in the game, we can handle our daily lives. If you really can't handle it, don't play games anymore. Focus on practicing martial art. Mu Zixin handed the soup bowl to Wang Yu and said, Why? I think this is pretty good. Mu Zixin's words made Wang Yu a little confused. Hearing Wang Yu's words, Mu Zixin's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that she had groomed a peerless genius to become a gaming addict? She had really committed a great sin. Aren't you tired? Mu Zixin asked. It's not really tiring, it's just a bit time-consuming, but it's quite fulfilling. Wang Yu said. Mu Zixin said, That's right, so I don't want you to be a professional gamer. It's too much of a waste of time. Wang Yu said, How can that be? I'm the pillar of the family, so of course I have to earn money to support the family. Didn't you say that men are the heavens? I can't always let you support me. But I don't want you to put all your energy into the game, Mu Zixin said anxiously. If Wang Yu was really crippled, Mu Zixin would be the Wang family's enemy. She didn't want to be hated by her husband's family for the rest of his life. Wang Yu laughed. How refreshing. I'm a professional gamer. Professional gamers don't waste time and energy, so how can I earn money? Alright, wife, my body is fine. You don't have to worry about me. A professional gamer that doesn't waste time and energy and can earn money. Wang Yu's casual words suddenly reminded Mu Zixian. Hubby, do you know about esports? Mu Zixian suddenly asked. Is it competing with others in the game? I know, I've heard people talking about it recently. Wang Yu replied. Why don't you also play in professional competitions? Mu Zixian said. The salary of a professional gamer in esports was very high. Although the training of professional gamers was also very heavy, professional gamers were only responsible for technical training. Compared to normal gamers who desperately leveled up and got equipment in the game, it was much easier. Moreover, the daily training of professional gamers also included physical training. This was what Mu Zixian was most satisfied with. After all, now that the game mode had changed, real-life training was definitely extremely important. With Wang Yu's ability, he didn't need to care about anything else. He just needed to focus on his martial arts. Esports. Someone approached me not long ago, but I rejected them. Wang Yu said. Why did you reject them? Mu Zixian said anxiously. It seemed that Sky Law Berserk earned a lot of experience yesterday. In the end, Wuji wasn't a god. He couldn't calculate everything. This time, the Mingdu quest wasn't completed. Everyone only earned some experience points. Of course, the Quanzhen sect also earned money. Guru Iron Ox, do you want to go for a drink with us? Thunder God Berserk invited enthusiastically. No need. My friends are still waiting for me to return to Yu Huiqing. Wang Yu said perfunctorily and left Iron Rock Castle. Thunder God Berserk was not a good person. He could change his attitude very quickly. If he waited for him to react, who knew what would happen? Wang Yu had promised Mu Zixian that he would adjust the game time reasonably. After leaving Iron Rock Castle, Wang Yu went all the way to Thunderstorm City Harbor. Strangely, Chuanzhen and the others had not arrived yet. Could it be that the matter of tricking Sky Law Berserk had been exposed? Thinking of this, Wang Yu hurriedly sent a message asking, Guys, I've already arrived at the harbor from Iron Rock Castle. Why haven't you guys from Thunderstorm City arrived yet? Don't be in such a hurry to leave. There's still something we haven't dealt with. Mingdu replied. Wang Yu was puzzled. What is it? It's this. Famous Sword Dao Shui sent a screenshot. It was the 5 fragments stolen from Regis. The quest has already failed. What's the point of keeping them? Just throw them away. Wang Yu replied disdainfully. Wuji sneered. Throw them away? Why should we throw them away? If we sell them to Thunder God Berserk, won't we make a profit? Hearing Wuji's words, everyone in the guild channel was silent. A few seconds later, Wang Yu's face was full of black lines. You bastard. Can't you change to another person? And you're only tricking one person. Thunder God Berserk was also pitiful. How could he be targeted by someone like Wuji? They've already spent over 10,000 gold. Luckily, Sky Law Berserk was rich and powerful. If it were any other small guild, they would have probably been crushed by Wuji. Wuji said, I don't agree with Old Cow's words. We're doing business here. How can it be called a scam? We gave him 5 shards. What if one day he gets his hands on the last shard? Who knows, he might even be thanking us for bringing him into the dungeon. Great, Wuji really guessed correctly. Thunder God Berserk looked at Wang Yu with an ambiguous gaze. He wanted to kneel down and call him Grandpa. Wang Yu rubbed his chin. Based on what you've said, we should give these fragments to Great Mage Reynold. Why is that? Everyone couldn't help but be surprised. Think about it. Reynold wanted 6 coordinate. Now that we've gathered 5, even if we don't have any merits, we still have to work hard. In the end, the reward should be at least May 6. Who knows, we might even get a godly weapon. Wang Yu said. Nyogo, have you never done an item-gathering quest before? Bao San suddenly asked. I haven't done much, Wang Yu said. No wonder you're speaking like a layman. In the game, you have to gather all the items before you can hand in the quest. Bao San was speechless. Is that so? No one told me that. Wang Yu was quite curious. Who would teach an expert like Wang Yu how to play the game? Besides, Wang Yu usually did collection quests. If he could gather all the items, he wouldn't waste his breath bargaining with NPCs. If it wasn't for this time, he probably wouldn't even know about this setting. Everyone! You idiot, bargaining with NPCs. Damn, who would have thought that Wang Yu didn't even know the basics after playing the game for so long? Wang Yu wasn't convinced. Don't be so full of yourself. What's wrong with bargaining? The NPCs in the game are all smart. If you don't bargain with them, they'll scam you. Who knows, they might even give you 5/6 of the rewards. It's not like we need to spend money to try. It's not like we need to spend money? Everyone's mind flashed with Reynolds' shameless expression. And we can just not ask questions. Wang Yu said again. What do you think, Old Li? Wuji asked Mingdu. Mingdu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Listen to Old Cow and let him gain some knowledge. If Reynolds doesn't want it, we'll sell it to Thunder God. It won't affect either side. Chapter 651. From the Mage Academy to the harbor, it was just a matter of passing through another teleportation matrix. Soon, Wang Yu arrived at the library and met up with the rest of Quanjun. When Grand Magician Reynolds saw Quanjun's group, a cunning smile immediately appeared on his face. He looked at them as if they were walking bags of money. You guys are here. What do you want to ask today? Reynolds took the initiative to greet them. Everyone in Quanjun had learned their lesson. They said in unison, 200 gold coins for each question. Reynolds was stunned for a moment. He took out 200 gold coins and handed it to Mingdu, who was walking at the front. It seemed that artificial beings were not as cunning as real humans. If they were real humans, they would definitely pretend not to hear it. Mingdu took the gold coins and said with a smile, We are not here to ask questions. We are here to submit our mission. As he spoke, Mingdu took out 5 shards. Seeing the 5 shards in Mingdu's hand, Reynolds said, You don't have enough mission items. Reynolds had just finished speaking when Mingdu turned his head and smiled at Wang Yu. See? We told him he didn't want it. That's true. I thought he would at least give half of the reward. Wang Yu said disappointedly, Then let's go back. Let's go. Everyone had already expected this outcome. They were not surprised at all. After all, this was a hard currency. If Reynolds didn't want it, they could sell it to Thunder God Berserk. Thinking of this, everyone turned and walked out of the library. However, at this moment, Reynolds suddenly said, Don't be in such a hurry to leave. Why? You still want us to stay for breakfast? Mingdu turned his head and taunted. Reynolds chuckled. The wrinkles on his face made him look like a chrysanthemum. Then, he said slowly, Actually, you did not fail your mission. I can tell you where the 6th shard is. What? Hearing Reynolds's words, everyone hurriedly turned around. Mingdu even turned around excitedly and asked, Where is the 6th fragment? The glory of Atlanta was an S-rank hidden mission chain. The rewards of a mission chain was much better than an ordinary S-rank mission. Moreover, it was hidden. Of course, the difficulty was imaginable. Therefore, from the beginning, Mingdu was already mentally prepared that he would not be able to complete it. When he learned that he had failed the mission, he only felt disappointed. But now that he heard that not only did he not fail the mission chain, but there was also a way to salvage it, Mingdu's mood was indescribable. He was like a slacker who suddenly heard that he had a chance to be admitted to Tsinghua University. He almost jumped up. You don't have enough money on you, Reynolds said with a smile. Hearing Reynolds's words, everyone was speechless again. Mingdu wasn't a poor person in the game. Moreover, money came easily, and they didn't have to worry about spending it. Moreover, they had never seen it before. At this moment, Wang Yu suddenly understood why he chose to stay in the Quanzhen sect back then. Although there were great benefits to having a big guild, there was also a small warmth to be had. The people from the Quanzhen sect were very loyal to their friends. "Speak, Master Reynolds." Wuji turned his head and said to Reynolds, "You're so smart, why aren't you a mage?" Reynolds shook his head regretfully and then said to Wuji, "The last shard is actually on me." The 10,000 gold coins included the money to buy this shard. As Reynolds spoke, he took out the last shard and handed it to Wuji. F***ck. Seeing the 6 shards in Wuji's hand, Mingdu almost exploded in anger. There were only 5 shards wandering around, but this old man issued a quest for 6 shards. How could he be so cheap? Wuji threw the shard to Mingdu and then asked coldly, "If we don't come back to ask, will this quest never be completed? You're tricking the consumers." Reynolds smiled and said with an expression that said, "So what if I lied to you? As long as you collect 5 shards, you can come to me to activate the plot of the 6th shard. I didn't say that all 6 shards are in someone else's hands." F***ck, this shameless guy. Everyone was speechless. The designers were really cunning. They used the inertia of the players to create such a trap. Fortunately, Wang Yu suggested asking, or else the quest would have failed. Of course, success wasn't easy. Spending 10,000 gold coins was a waste. If they knew this would happen, they would have helped the God's Punishment Legion in the dungeon. Wouldn't they have gotten the 6 shards easily? Chapter 652. All 6 shards were collected. Just as Mingdu was about to hand them in, Wang Yu reached out and stopped Mingdu. "Old cow, what's wrong?" Mingdu asked, confused by Wang Yu's behavior. Wang Yu said, "Isn't your quest for the coordinates? These are all shards." This old man has a sinister look on his face. Don't go back on your word. Wang Yu was at a disadvantage when it came to the system's word games. He was the most vigilant. Since the quest required the coordinates of the vanished land of the gods, he should at least analyze the shards first. Otherwise, with the system's nature, it would never spit out what it had collected. When Mingdu heard this, his face turned purple. He said, "F***ck, I almost fell for it again." He had put in a lot of effort to obtain these shards. He had even spent 10,000 gold. How could he hand them over so easily? Thinking of this, Mingdu asked Reynolds, "Can you analyze the coordinates of these 6 shards?" "No," Reynolds said, shaking his head. At the same time, he deducted 200 gold from Mingdu. "You can't?" "Why can't I?" Mingdu was enraged. "Wasn't this clearly a trap?" Reynolds said, "Because it's not within my abilities." Mingdu lost another 200 gold. Mingdu spat out a mouthful of blood. These shards were quest items, and Reynolds was the quest initiator. Yet, he said he couldn't analyze the coordinates of the shards? Wasn't he lying through his teeth? Just as Mingdu was about to lose his temper, Wuji pulled Mingdu back and said, "You shouldn't ask that." "Then how should I ask?" Mingdu was slightly stunned. "What is the secret of these shards?" Wuji asked Reynolds as he accepted the shards. 1,000 gold. After Reynolds made his offer, 1,000 gold went down from Wuji's bag. Then, Reynolds said slowly, "These 6 shards are the vanished land of the gods. This is the F***king hidden god land? Who are you trying to bluff?" Upon hearing Reynolds's words, not only Mingdu and Quanzhen, but even Wang Yu was dumbfounded. Was it not said that the hidden god's land was the hiding place of the Atlans? Such a palm-sized cube could not even fit in one's hand. How could it hide an Atlan tribesman? This time, before Reynolds could collect the money, Wuji explained, "He is right. This is the hidden land of the gods. Have you forgotten about the spaceship we built in the Instance dungeon?" Spaceship? After hearing Wuji's words, everyone immediately thought of the aircraft that looked like it was only the size of a car from the outside, but could accommodate more than 200 people inside. It's spatial magic? Chun Xiang exclaimed. It's not spatial magic, it's spatial technology. Wuji said. In the instant's dungeon, Reynolds personally said that it was because they studied the two taboos of time and space that they incurred the calamity of extermination. F***CK space technology? Quantum transmission or four-dimensional space? Bao San was puzzled. Chapter 653. That's me. Wang Yu nodded in a manner that was neither servile nor overbearing. He thought to himself that this old man's ears were quite sharp. Not bad. Reynolds sized up Wang Yu and said, as expected of the legendary martial arts scholar, "You're still as powerful as ever." "Yes, old cow is very powerful," Mingdu said from the side. "Sigh, why is it that no one with wisdom or courage is a mage?" Reynolds sighed, almost choking Mingdu to death. "Are you dead or not?" Mingdu was furious. He had never seen such a fellow. A mere NPC actually dared to insult a player in front of him. Reynolds smiled and said, "Don't forget that you're my disciple in name. I have the right to take back all your skills." "Master." Mingdu knelt on the ground without hesitation. F***CK Mingdu, where's your dignity? The crowd roared with laughter. "What's dignity?" Mingdu's face was full of disdain. So what if he knelt? He was just an NPC. Who asked him to cripple his cultivation? He had no choice but to kneel. In fact, Reynolds was only trying to scare Mingdu. Mingdu's reaction made the old man so angry that he laughed. "That's enough. Get up. Don't embarrass me here." Reynolds sighed helplessly and glanced at Wang Yu. He crossed his hands, and a golden light radiated from Reynolds' hands. Then, the 6 Atlan glory fragments in Reynolds' hands began to fuse. A few seconds later, the 6 fragments in Reynolds' hands fused into one, becoming a shining golden magic staff. Reynolds extended his hand and handed the magic staff to Wang Yu. When the Atlan people were exterminated by the gods, they swore that the one who could save them would be their god. As soon as Reynolds finished speaking, a blue light flew from his body to Wang Yu. Wang Yu received a notification. "You've received the blessing of Great Wizard Reynolds. All offensive magic attributes permanently increased by 20. Apart from magic classes like mages, other classes could also obtain attack magic attributes through equipment and skills. Different attack attributes had different effect. For example, the ice attributes deceleration, the electric attributes shock, the fire attributes burn, and so on. A Chi Master's Chi belonged to the light attribute, while Wang Yu's Thunder Stomp and Flaming Tornado Kick belonged to the thunder and fire attributes respectively. In the early stages of the game, most of the monsters were low-level monsters. Most of them did not have any attribute. When the players reached level 40, they would slowly come into contact with monsters with attribute. At that time, the increase in attack attributes would become extremely important. Wang Yu was wearing the badge, Force of Wind and Thunder, which increased both attributes by 20. At this moment, he had also received Reynolds' blessing. In addition to the Thunder attribute increase on his equipment, his Lightning boost alone had reached 76 points. It should be known that the Mage Mingdu, who mainly focused on attribute damage, had only reached 100 points yesterday. For an ordinary Grandmaster of Combat to increase his attack attributes to this level, excluding attribute effects, his damage could almost be compared to an assassin of the same level. The assassin was a typical damage output class. Even a weak class like the Grandmaster of Combat could increase his damage output to the level of an assassin. The increase in attributes was terrifying, not to mention that Wang Yu had received an increase in all attribute. The double attribute increase of Force of Wind and Thunder was said by Exquisite Dream to be the best of the best. Now, the value of this increase in all attributes was immeasurable. Seeing this reward, Wang Yu could not help but be stunned. Just as Wang Yu was in a daze, Mingdu poked Wang Yu and shouted, "Old cow, send me the attributes of the staff." As the person who completed this chain of missions, when Mingdu saw that Wang Yu had also received a reward, he was naturally curious if Wang Yu's reward would be better than his. Hearing this, Wang Yu opened the display of the staff's attribute. Atlan's Glory, Staff, Legendary, Sealed, Attack, Locked Magic, Locked Attribute, Locked Required Class, General Required Level, 1 Item Introduction, a sacred relic of the Atlan tribe. Wielder of this staff will receive the faith of the Atlan tribe. Light of Faith, Special Skill. In the same scene, every Atlan will provide 1 point of faith to the wielder. Faith, Special Skill. Every 10 points of faith will provide the wielder with a 1% increase in all attribute. Triggered with attributes. F***ck this trash. Seeing the attributes of the Atlan's Glory, Mingdu almost cursed out loud. Luckily, Reynold was sitting beside him and he managed to hold it in. Damn, it was a piece of legendary grade equipment, but it did not have any attributes at all. The last 2 inexplicable faith skills were even more useless. Although this skill could be triggered by carrying the staff in one's bag and did not need to occupy the equipment slot, 10 Atlans in the same scene would only increase their attributes by 1%. Currently, among all the Atlans in the game, Reynolds was probably the only one who did not have this skill. Of course, Wang Yu considered this as an additional reward for the mission. It was a legendary grade weapon after all, so no one could say anything. After all, in the eyes of NPCs, legendary grade equipment was the best. Even unsealed legendary grade equipment was extremely rare. When Wang Yu saw the attributes of the staff, he could not help but pout. Compared to Reynolds' blessing, this thing paled in comparison. After displaying the attributes, Wang Yu casually tossed the staff into his bag. It was not that Wang Yu did not like legendary grade equipment, but when he saw the word sealed, Wang Yu felt a headache coming on. He still had one in his hands, and he did not know how long the unsealing mission would take. Now that he had another one, he was just asking for trouble. After receiving the reward and bidding farewell to Reynold, Wang Yu and the rest left the Wizard Academy. They had just arrived at the port when a system announcement sounded above their heads. The system will be undergoing 48 hours of update maintenance. All players, please log off within 20 minutes. If anything happens during the update period, the player will be responsible. After reading the announcement 3 times, Wuji wondered, why is the system suddenly updating? Mingdu said, hasn't the game always been like this? Who knows, someone might have unlocked something that requires an update. That makes sense. Everyone expressed their agreement. The world of Rebirth was so big, and there were countless players who had a fortuitous encounter every day. Just based on the system announcement alone, everyone would see dozens of them every day. It was not rare to encounter a scenario or storyline that required an update. After chatting for a while, the Chuanjin group logged off, and Wang Yu logged off the game as well. After playing the game for so long, this was the first time that Wang Yu logged off so early. Taking off his helmet, Wang Yu stretched lazily, got up, and went to the balcony to practice his fist technique. At this time, Mu Zixin also logged off. When she saw Wang Yu practicing his fist technique on the balcony, her mind was full of thoughts. How is it? What do you think of my fist technique? Wang Yu felt Mu Zixin looking at him and immediately stopped to ask. Chapter 654. It's been more than a month. Wang Yu thought about it and said. Ever since Wang Yu started gaming, his training schedule had been messed up. In the beginning, Wang Yu still insisted on practicing 3 times a day. Now, as the time spent in the game increased, even his basic schedule was messed up. His practice of martial arts had been delayed. I didn't expect you to not practice for a month. I wonder if your skills have deteriorated. Mu Zixin said worriedly. Martial arts was like playing the piano. Once you put it down, you would quickly become rusty. Wang Yu had not practiced for more than a month. Logically speaking, it was inevitable that his skills had deteriorated. Although Mu Zixin and Wang Yu had been together from day to night and had trained her eyes, Wang Yu's level was too high. She couldn't tell if Wang Yu had deteriorated. "What do you think?" Wang Yu asked with a smile. "I think I shouldn't have let you play games." Mu Zixin blamed herself the more she thought about it. It wasn't easy to persevere in good habit. Indulging in bad habits could be addictive in minute. A month's time was enough to destroy a person. "Haha." Wang Yu laughed and said, "I've never felt that my punches were so clear." "What do you mean?" Mu Zixin didn't understand. "It means that I've stepped into a new realm," Wang Yu said excitedly. Mu Zixin said in surprise, "Didn't you not practice for more than a month?" Wang Yu laughed and said, "It's true that I haven't practiced for a month, but I haven't slacked off on my skills." How did you do it?" Mu Zixin was more confused the more she heard. Wang Yu had been playing games all this time. Why hadn't he slacked off on his skills? "It's all thanks to this game. After a few months, I actually broke through without even realizing it," Wang Yu said happily. "Thank you, game?" Mu Zixin suddenly understood. "Yeah, if I didn't fight in the game every day with my cultivation, I don't know how long it would take for me to improve," Wang Yu said with a smile. That's right. Wang Yu's martial arts cultivation was one of the highest in the martial arts circle. No one in the same generation could surpass him. When one's martial arts reached his current realm, it was already difficult for one to advance even an inch further. Kung Fu was originally a killing technique. If one wanted to improve their martial arts cultivation, it was like building a cart behind closed doors. No matter how talented one was, there would come a time when they ran out. Only by constantly fighting could one grow. Of course, fighting wasn't about bullying the weak. For someone at Wang Yu's level, he had to find someone stronger than him to fight in order to have a breakthrough. Not to mention that there weren't many in the world who had higher martial arts cultivation than Wang Yu. Even if there were, these masters wouldn't have the time to teach a junior. Mu Zixin thought about it and said, "You mean the place where little Na's house is? Wife, I will think of a way myself. Don't mention this again." Before Mu Zixin could finish, Wang Yu hurriedly interrupted. The relationship between the three of them was still a little unclear. If he went to find Yang Na, wouldn't it be a small matter? But, no buts. It's not easy for us to have time. How about we go shopping? Wang Yu changed the topic. Sure, we haven't gone shopping together in a long time. As expected, women had no resistance to shopping. Hearing the otaku Wang Yu take the initiative to suggest shopping, Mu Zixin's thoughts immediately flew away. "Yes, I will go wash my face first." Saying that, Wang Yu wiped his sweat and opened the door to the bathroom. After the couple cleaned up, they carried their bags and were about to go out. They saw Li Shui and the others dressed up beautifully and were about to go out. Mu Zixin greeted them enthusiastically. "Aya, Xiao Shui, are you going shopping too?" "Yes, sister-in-law." The four of them replied in a chatter. "Call me Sister Xian. Calling me sister-in-law makes me old. Do you want to go shopping together?" Mu Zixin invited. "Huh?" Hearing Mu Zixin's words, Wang Yu's eyes widened. He felt a headache. Meow, shopping with one woman is happiness, but shopping with two or more women is awkward, okay? We won't disturb the two of you. We have other things to do. The four girls were quite understanding of the ways of the world. Seeing Wang Yu roll his eyes, how could they not be tactful? They quickly rejected Mu Zixin. Chapter 655. It was already the second month of the lunar calendar. Although the weather was still chilly, the spring breeze brought warmth to their faces. El City was a small city, but it also had mountains and rivers. It was very beautiful. The entrance of Wang Yu's neighborhood was surrounded by a lake, which was how the neighborhood got its name. After leaving the neighborhood, Wang Yu and his wife held hands and came to the lake. When they first came to the city, the two were unfamiliar with the place, so they often took a walk by the lake. At this moment, it felt like they had returned to half a year ago. At that time, Wang Yu was still a playboy who didn't know much about the world, and Mu Zixian had a fairly well-paid job. The two of them came to such a strange city and started a new life. Everywhere was full of novelty. This was especially true for Wang Yu. His heart palpitated when he first left the house. It allowed him to experience the world outside the cage and let him know what freedom was. After walking around the lake for a long time, the two of them went to the city center for a stroll. Finally, they found a tea restaurant to eat. As soon as they entered, Mu Zixian pointed at a few people not far from the entrance. "Hey, isn't that Xiao Shui and the others?" Mu Zixian was about to go up and greet them, but Wang Yu pulled her back and pointed at Li Shui, shaking his head slightly. Mu Zixian looked in the direction Wang Yu was pointing at and saw 4 men sitting opposite Li Shui and the others. The 8 of them sat around a big round table and ate their own food. The scene seemed a little awkward. It seemed like they were going on a blind date. After all, Northerners usually went on blind dates before and after Chinese New Year. Blind dates were not rare at all. Otherwise, with Molly around, a man and a woman eating together would definitely not have such an atmosphere. In the past, Wang Yu didn't know much about the world. Now that he had been with the people of Chuanjian for so long, he was much more sensible. The atmosphere over there was already so awkward. If he and his wife went over, wouldn't it be even more awkward? If they really overtook the host, the man's side would feel very uncomfortable. After all, they might be on a blind date. If Wang Yu walked over and chatted with Li Shui and the other 3 enthusiastically, it would seem a little unkind. Mu Zixian naturally understood this as well. She smiled knowingly and pulled Wang Yu to the side. They sat down on the sofa with their backs against Li Shui and the others. "Aya, there are so many seats, why are we sitting here?" Wang Yu looked around and said worriedly, as if he was a thief. "Hee, just listen." Mu Zixian chuckled, revealing a mischievous expression. Wang Yu facepalmed. A woman's gossipy soul, of course. After hearing Mu Zixian's words, Wang Yu also felt that it was quite interesting. Just like that, the two of them ordered some food and sat by the side, listening attentively to their conversation. Although the situation at Li Shui's table was awkward, Wang Yu and Mu Zixian could still hear some clues. As expected, Li Shui and the others were here to accompany Molly on a blind date. The man who was going on a blind date with Molly seemed to be the coach of a fitness club in L City. This fitness club seemed to be quite big and famous. Even a homebody like Wang Yu had heard of it. Since he was a coach, his qualifications should be good, but Molly didn't seem to be very willing. The few guys sitting across from her were very anxious, so the situation was very awkward. What a young man. He's actually shy. Wang Yu sighed. "Tch." Mu Zixian curled her lips in disdain. "Just like how you aren't shy. Did you forget that the two of us?" Wang Yu was sweating profusely as he interrupted. Why are you bringing me into this?" Just as Wang Yu and Mu Zixian were reminiscing about the past, they suddenly heard Molly say, "Li Jian, you should go back. If my parents didn't call me to come, I wouldn't have come." "Molly, what about me? We are not the same kind of people." Molly's words were decisive. Upon hearing Molly's words, one of his lackeys couldn't sit still anymore. He stood up and shouted, "What are you talking about? I've tolerated you for a long time. Aren't you just a smelly gamer? With Brother Jian's qualifications, it's already a great honor for him to take a fancy to you. Why are you pretending?" "He's really young." Wang Yu sighed again. This kid was actually so insensible. If Molly really got together with Li Jian, this kid would definitely suffer. Wang Yu snickered at the side while Mu Zixian's expression grew uglier. The kid's words seemed to have poked at Mu Zixian's sore spot. At this moment, the person said again, "Why don't you look at Brother Jian's family background? Isn't it more than enough to match a family like yours? I'm really giving you face." Before the kid could finish, Mu Zixian suddenly stood up. She picked up the tea on the table and splashed it at the kid's face. "Hey wife, what's wrong with you? Mu Zixian's sudden outburst caught Wang Yu off guard. Wang Yu hurriedly stood up and pulled Mu Zixian back. Mu Zixian was still angry. She pointed at the brat who had been splashed with tea and said, "What does dating have to do with family background? Is she marrying you or your family? You bastard! You don't know how to be a person. Do you think she needs your family's permission to like you?" The kid was dumbfounded by Mu Zixian's sudden splashing of tea. Li Shui and the rest were also dumbfounded. "Sister-in-law. Sister Xian, why are you here?" Li Shui asked in surprise. "He, just passing by, just passing by." Wang Yu smiled awkwardly and waved at Li Shui. Then, he said to the guy who was splashed with tea by Mu Zixian, "I'm sorry, brother. My wife has been in a bad mood recently. I'll pay the bill for your table." "Brother you are too polite. It's fine. We are here. You and sister-in-law can go back first," Molly said hurriedly. "That's so embarrassing." Wang Yu scratched his head with an awkward expression. The tea man also reacted at this time. When he saw that the person who splashed tea on him was a woman who seemed to be very familiar with Molly, he was immediately angered. "Motherf asterisk cur, are you here to make fun of me?" The tea man shouted and slammed the table. He stepped on the stool and kicked at Mu Zixian. The others also looked at Wang Yu cautiously. The tea man must have thought that Mu Zixian was here to purposely cause trouble. So, he didn't care whether Mu Zixian was a man or a woman and immediately attacked. Seeing the tea man kick at Mu Zixian, Wang Yu frowned slightly. He grabbed Mu Zixian with his right hand and took a step back to avoid the tea man's flying kick. The tea man's skills seemed to be pretty good. At the very least, his footwork was very nimble. Seeing that Wang Yu had pulled Mu Zixian away, he turned his waist and followed up with a roundhouse kick without mercy. Chapter 656. The cafeteria was only so big. Seeing that someone was fighting, everyone stood up to give way. The tea man kicked from the side, front, and chain. One kick after another, he greeted Mu Zixian's face with his feet. Mu Zixian had attacked first. Wang Yu was in the wrong and was too embarrassed to intervene. He could only hold Mu Zixian with one hand and use the other to gently move the tables and chairs beside him. The tea man kicked more than 10 times in a row. Not only did he not touch Wang Yu's clothes, he did not even touch the tables and chairs. After being chased and kicked for so long, Wang Yu finally lost his patience. Seeing that the tea man had no intention of stopping, Wang Yu gently waved the back of his hand and separated the tea man's ankle. Then he stared at the tea man and said, "Enough. If you are satisfied, then stop. Otherwise, I will retaliate." Although Mu Zixian was in the wrong, Wang Yu had apologized and even said that she would pay the bill for tea man and the rest. However, tea man was still pressuring her. Moreover, he was also a martial artist. For him to be pressuring a woman was a little unreasonable. Wang Yu's attack seemed weak, but the tea man had used a lot of force. When Wang Yu blocked it with the back of his hand, his ankle felt like it was being pricked by needles. It was so painful that he could not lift his foot. Only then did the tea man realize that he had kicked a metal plate today. As for Li Jian and the rest who were with the tea man, they all revealed looks of horror. Li Jian and the rest knew the tea man's abilities very well. This kid was a taekwondo coach at a fitness club. His legs were more agile than his hands. Ordinary men would not be able to get close to him. But the tea man had kicked more than 10 times, and not even the corner of Wang Yu's clothes had been touched. This was 2F**** king scary. One had to know that Wang Yu was still holding a person in his hand. "Zhang Qian, come back!" Li Jian shouted in a panic. So the tea man's name was Zhang Qian. Originally, Wang Yu was in the wrong. But after Wang Yu apologized, Zhang Qian still attacked Mu Zixian relentlessly. No matter what, even if it was reasonable to hit a woman, it would become unreasonable. At this moment, Li Jian was afraid that Wang Yu would pursue the matter. If that happened, he would be finished. No matter what, Li Jian was considered half a figure in the circle. He knew that a person who could practice martial arts to this level was definitely not someone to be trifled with. If Wang Yu really made a move, no one would be able to stop him. Zhang Qian would probably be destroyed here. I can't move. Zhang Qian's face was pale. Her ankle was red and swollen, and she was in so much pain that she didn't dare to move. Big brother, look at this mess. My brother has a bad temper, but… When Li Jian saw Zhang Qian's feet, his face turned pale. Don't be afraid, Wang Yu waved his hand and said, it's just a superficial wound. Fortunately, he didn't use much strength just now. Although Zhang Qian had attacked Mu Zixian, it was also because she was angry. She had held back a lot of strength in her leg. Otherwise, if Wang Yu had reflected her strength back, her ankle would probably have been broken. We were in the wrong first. How about this? I'll still say the same thing. I'll pay the bill. Wang Yu helped Zhang Qian back to his original seat and said. At this moment, Mu Zixian's anger had dissipated a lot. She said with some embarrassment, I was too agitated just now. I'm really sorry, but I still want to say that your point of view is wrong. I understand. Zhang Qian's face turned red. At this moment, Molly and the others surrounded Wang Yu and chattered, Aya, the landlord is so powerful. I thought you were a soft, cough cough. Li Shui quickly coughed and Molly quickly shut up. Big brother, are you familiar with Molly and the others? Li Jian asked curiously. Wang Yu nodded. Yes, we live together. What? Li Jian's face instantly turned from white to green. They rented my house. Wang Yu saw that Li Jian had misunderstood and explained. Oh, you scared me. Li Jian wiped his sweat. Big brother, where do you work? Freelance, Wang Yu said. Big brother, I see that you are also a martial artist. With such good skills, why don't you come to my place and be a coach or something? Nowadays, for some reason, many kids are suddenly interested in Kung Fu. They want to learn Kung Fu, but where can I find a real coach now? Li Jian extended an olive branch to Wang Yu without straying from his profession. Zhang Qian also echoed, yes, brother Jian is right. I heard that it's because of a game that has a class called Grandmaster of Combat. That's why so many people are interested in Kung Fu. Zhang Qian was now convinced by Wang Yu and changed the way she addressed him. Rebirth? Wang Yu ignored Li Jian's invitation and asked in return. Yes. I think it's this game, Zhang Qian said. Oh, I'm playing this game too. Wang Yu smiled and nodded. Is that so? I was planning to play it. Big brother, what's your ID? I'll add you once I enter the game. Zhang Qian seized the opportunity. Iron Ox, Wang Yu said. Pfft. Just as Wang Yu said that, someone at the next table laughed. Your name is Iron Ox? What? Wang Yu was slightly stunned. Don't brag. If you are Iron Ox, then I'm the god of war. That person said with a smile. Although the ID Iron Ox wasn't as dazzling as the veteran experts, it was still a famous character. There were legends about him everywhere on the forums. There were even people who touted him as the #1 expert. Whether or not he was the #1 expert aside, meeting someone who claimed to be Iron Ox while eating was as funny as suddenly having someone walk over and say, I'm Jay Cho, while eating. Nice to meet you. Wang Yu cupped his fists at that person. That person was dumbfounded. He curled his lips and said, F***K, you even believe your own bragging. So Big Brother is the legendary Iron Ox. Li Jian and the others ignored the person at the next table and said with a look of worship. You believe him? Of course. With such good skills, how can we not believe him? Zhang Qian said. In the eyes of others, Wang Yu had just fought with Zhang Qian because of a misunderstanding. Furthermore, seeing them reconcile so quickly, it was mostly for show. However, Zhang Qian knew that Wang Yu was truly capable. I heard from the children that you relied on Kung Fu to be so powerful. I didn't believe it at first, but today I've seen it for myself. Li Jian sighed. Children were always easier to accept a lot of things. No one believed in the existence of Kung Fu for a long time. It was rare for children to believe in it. It's nothing. It's just a small trick. Wang Yu was as humble as ever. At that moment, Li Jian took out a card and handed it to Wang Yu. An expert player like you shouldn't be short of my salary. How about this? This is a lifetime membership card for our fitness club. You can come and play whenever you have time. How can I accept it? Wang Yu quickly declined. Back then, when Wang Yu first came to L City, he had also gone to Li Jian's fitness club. However, when he saw the price of a normal membership at the entrance, he ran away in fright. Naturally, he knew that it was a high-cost place. They had only met by chance, so Li Jian's card was too valuable. Big brother, what are you saying? With your skills, you deserve this treatment. Just treat it as a guide for us. Li Jian stuffed the card back into Wang Yu's hand and glanced at Molly. Humph. Molly turned her head and ignored him. Thinking of this, Li Jian said, "In that case, I won't pester you any further. Brother, you must come to my place to play when you have time." Definitely, Wang Yu said. "We'll be leaving first." With that said, Li Jian called for his 2 lackeys to help Zhang Qian leave the seat. "The lad looks all right." Seeing Li Jian and company leave, Wang Yu rubbed his chin. "Tch," Molly said disdainfully, "you keep talking about how rich you are." "How vulgar," Mu Zixin said. "Young man, what do you know? Actually, many a time, material things are the foundation of love. Don't you know that a poor couple has 100 things to worry about?" "Then, Sister Xian, didn't you end up with a penniless charterer?" Molly asked. "We have feelings for each other. Do you understand?" Mu Zixin smiled. This woman always made sense. "Let's talk about you. Who do you fancy?" Mu Zixin changed the topic and asked Molly nosily. Molly blushed and said, "Tch, I'm not telling you." After the meal, the few of them temporarily separated. Wang Yu brought Mu Zixin out for a day before returning home. The next day, the couple strolled around the city. It was not until the morning of the 3rd day that the game update was completed. As soon as the game update was completed, Mu Zixin entered the game. As for Wang Yu, as usual, he unhurriedly browsed the official website to see the updated content. Usually, Mu Zixin was very lax when she played the game. The reason why she went online so quickly today was that the game had just been updated. She had to quickly grasp the trend of the merchandise prices in the game. The scope of the game update this time was very large. First, it was the release of a new race expansion pack, the Atlan race. The Atlan race, the Hidden Gods, was a race that was once glorious in technology and magic. Because they researched forbidden arts, they were abandoned by the gods and even massacred. The great prophet Regis used forbidden arts to seal the Atlan race. 10,000 years later, the seal was lifted, and the Atlan race reappeared on the continent. The background story of the Atlan race was roughly the same as what Wang Yu knew. Of course, some detailed information still needed to be explored. Currently, as far as Wang Yu knew, because the Atlan race was abandoned by the gods, they belonged to the Dark faction. They had racial talents and technology specialization. They also had their own sub-profession, Atlan engineering. Overall, they were a very interesting race. The next update was the start of the S1 season of Rebirth. Wang Yu rarely played in the arena, so he did not understand what the so-called season meant. However, for many teams and professional players, the season was the most important. Now, the competitive industry was very popular. There were many professional competitive players, but only the teams that passed the Dragon's Gate would be able to obtain sky-high bonuses and the support of powerful financial groups. In particular, Rebirth was a game with a holographic mode, which subverted the previous operating model. Therefore, for the grassroots teams, they might have a better chance. The start of the season meant that there would be a fierce competition. The last update was relatively boring. It was the official launch of Rebirth worldwide. It was normal for a game with a new mode to be popular all over the world. However, for Wang Yu, there was not much difference between a global open beta and a national open beta. After all, the servers were not interoperable. It was equivalent to opening a few regional servers. The Soaring Dragon Company did not share the profits with the players. When Wang Yu appeared at the port, Wuji and the others were already online and waiting. Listening to them, they seemed to be discussing the update. "Old cow, you're here. You've earned a lot this time." When he saw Wang Yu online, Mingdu greeted him. "What did I earn?" Wang Yu was confused. The system update did not mention anything about giving him a discount. "The new expansion pack," Mingdu said excitedly. "The new expansion pack for Atlan was released by us." Wang Yu said, "That's your mission. You're the one who earned it. What does it have to do with me?" This time, blood-colored war flag didn't bring any of their underlings. He was alone. At this time, he was sitting at the table and staring at the door in a daze. Seeing Wang Yu enter the tavern, blood-colored war flag hurriedly stood up. When he saw that Wang Yu had brought so many people with him, he couldn't help but be stunned. He quickly said, I only sent a message to Ox God. Why are all of you here?" "We just happened to be together, so they followed us." Wang Yu wiped his sweat. Blood-colored war flag was a friend, after all. He couldn't possibly say that he had brought a group of bandits to blackmail him, right? If that's the case. Blood-colored war flag nodded in understanding. He didn't mind and asked everyone to sit down. "Speaking of which, why are you looking for our old cow, Blood Boss? Why are you being so secretive?" Wuji sat down and asked directly. "Ha. Blood-colored war flag laughed dryly and said, "Actually, it's nothing much. Isn't the S1 season starting? Our bloody team has to prepare for the Pro League. I just wanted to ask if Ox God has time to help us play a competition or something." "Why? Do you guys want to help too?" The Pro League was the highest competition in domestic online gaming. It was divided into the spring competition and the summer competition. Only those with enough points could represent the region to participate in the S-Pro League. The S-Pro League was the highest competition in the world. It didn't matter if you won or not, as long as you could participate, it would be an honor. Although Blood-Colored Alliance was a big guild, Rebirth had a brand new mode that subverted the concept of combat. There were many unorthodox experts, and there were countless participating teams this season. This was especially true for Blood-Colored War Flag, who had seen Wang Yu's abilities. When the season started, Blood-Colored War Flag felt an unprecedented pressure. That was why they wanted to ask for Wang Yu's help to play in the pre-season competition for points. Otherwise, if a veteran team couldn't even make it into the pre-season competition, wouldn't that be too embarrassing? Playing a competition. Boring. Upon hearing that, Wuji and the others were disappointed. They thought that Blood-Colored War Flag wanted to ask Wang Yu to kill a boss or something. This way, everyone could participate and they could get some benefit. As for the competition, the people of Chuanjin weren't interested. Bosses, it's not that I want to say anything, but with your strength, even if you can't win the championship, you should at least have a good result. Playing a competition is not a proper job, we don't have the time. Wuji said calmly. Boss Wuji, don't you know that competitive gaming is a high-income profession? Blood-Colored War Flag was stunned for a moment. Blood-Colored War Flag wasn't wrong. The salary of a first-rate professional esports player was very high. Not only did the Pro League have generous bonuses, but because of the fan effect, every team would have the support of a large financial group. They were definitely a high-income group. Wuji smiled faintly. I only see the country's leaders at work. Playing games is just for fun? Although Wuji was a bit boastful, it was true that he was working. Hee. Blood-Colored War Flag was stunned and turned to look at Bao San. Bao San shrugged. I'm in nuclear research. You really know how to joke. blood-colored war flag broke out in a cold sweat and turned to look at Chun Xiang. Don't look at me. I'm a senior engineer and have a government allowance. Although I'm usually free, I'm not so free to play in competitions. I'm a civil servant, why would I play in competitions? Before blood-colored war flag could look at him, Mingdu raised his hand first. Blood-colored war flag was left speechless by the Chuanjian people and turned to look at Wang Yu. Wang Yu said, I have time to play games. I don't mind helping you, but do I have to join your guild's team? You don't have to, but if you're willing to join our team, I can give you the highest treatment of a first-rate esports player. Blood-colored war flag said excitedly. It was the pre-season, so they just had to eliminate some grassroots teams. However, the rules in the Pro League were more rigid. Only players from the team could join. If Wang Yu was willing to join blood-colored war flag, they could even become the world champions, let alone the seasonal champions. I see. Are the opponents strong enough? Wang Yu asked again. The players in the team are all experts stronger than me, blood-colored war flag said. Chapter 659. As a martial artist, Wang Yu loved to fight and enjoyed the joy of fighting. However, against normal players like blood-red war flag, he could basically insta-kill them. As for the joy of fighting, that was out of the question. If he had the time, he might as well go to a dungeon and kill a boss. Hearing Wang Yu's words, blood-red war flag's heart broke. Although blood-red war flag wasn't considered a professional player, as the leader of Blood Alliance, they weren't weak. At this moment, in Wang Yu's eyes, they had become a unit of measurement. How could he explain this? That's why we don't play this sort of thing. Wu Ji said, the true experts in the competition are all in the professional league. If you don't have points, you won't be able to enter the competition. Earning points is a waste of time. We don't have any big guilds to help us get equipment, so wasting time is pointless unless you join their team. We welcome you at any time. Blood-red war flag heard Wuji's words and became excited again. That's even more boring. Wang Yu's words extinguished blood-red war flag's enthusiasm. Say, how great would it be if we formed a team? Wang Yu said with some regret, actually, I also want to spar with those so-called professional players. Wang Yu had seen professional players before. Lei Gongjing in Apocalypse was a very rare expert. This, Wu Ji, Bao San and the rest revealed a helpless expression. However, there were also people who were quite happy, such as Yin Lao Er and Bai Mingyu. Of the two of them, one was aiming to be a competitive player, while the other was a professional gamer. To be able to form a team with a professional expert like Wang Yu was definitely a very fortunate thing. To place one's pride, Mingjian Dao Shui, and the two girls' attitudes were ambiguous. Mingjian Dao Shui was the boss, so he could play the game however he wanted. The key was that he could earn money and play with his friends. To place one's pride and Yang Na were rich and didn't lack money, but it would be even better if they could earn money. They weren't familiar with Exquisite Dream, but with Chun Xiang's understanding of her, as long as everyone participated, Exquisite Dream would join in. Wu Ji thought about it and said, it's not that we can't form a team. We can also take time off when we're playing regular matches, but the points system in the preseason is too much of a scam. Our gaming time is all squeezed out. Where would we have the time to do something like that? Wang Yu laughed and said, after we form a team, I'll just go and accumulate points. At this moment, Wang Yu was quite quick-witted. No. Before Wang Yu could finish speaking, Blood-Red War Flag interrupted. The Pro League's individual points have to meet the entry requirements. Even if a team appears, if the members do not meet the entry requirements, they will not be allowed to compete. D*MN, why is that? Wang Yu didn't understand. To prevent people from playing on behalf of others. Wu Ji explained. In the virtual world, no one knew who was playing the game. Even in the competitive circle, there were many scandals of people playing on behalf of others. To prevent this, the employees of the game put in a lot of effort. What Wang Yu thought of, the game company definitely thought of as well. They definitely wouldn't let anyone take advantage of it. Although Blood Red War Flag asked Wang Yu to help them farm points, the members of Blood Red Team would also form other teams to farm points. They just wanted to advance to the Pro League. Wuji and the others were different. Once they took time to farm points, their equipment would definitely fall behind. Equipment was the most important factor in a player's competition. Without equipment, it would be a waste. So, without the support of a commercial guild like Blood Red Alliance, a team wouldn't be able to go far. Chuanjin only had a dozen or so people. It was a joke to have a team. Is there no way to have the best of both worlds? Wang Yu was conflicted. It's not that there isn't, Blood Red War Flag said. During the preseason, the system will hold a professional arena. The champion team of each region can ignore the point system and automatically advance to the Pro League. There were two sides to the point system. After all, the resources in the game were limited. There weren't many teams that had a background to farm points. Although this would prevent people from playing on behalf of others, it would also allow the big guilds to monopolize the point system. In reality, many solo players were very skilled. It was just that because of the point system they were buried. That would be such a pity. The reason the game company organized the professional arena was so that everyone could participate in it. Of course, this way, many rich players would throw in large amounts of money for the sake of the so-called best in the world title. The game company could take this opportunity to make a huge profit. After all, buying was always better than selling. That's interesting, Wuji said with a smile after hearing Blood Red War Flag's words. There were many professional arena competitions in many games. Although it was also considered a form of competition, as long as you won the competition, it was much easier than the point system where you slowly accumulated points. At the very least, you didn't have to waste a lot of time and effort to farm points. How about it? Why don't we form a team for fun? Wuji suggested. Sure, as long as it doesn't interfere with work. Chun Xiang agreed. Bao San also nodded with certainty. Mingdu curled his lips. I'm a male. F*CKU. It's just a street search. What difference does it make if you're not there? To place one's pride slapped Mingdu's words back. Since the only objection was gone, everyone naturally chose to agree. Damn, we weren't talking about this in the beginning. Blood Red War Flag saw Chuanjin's group form a team with just a few words and was immediately dumbfounded. F*CK, Blood Red War Flag, had witnessed the abilities of these animals from the Chuanjin sect. Putting aside Wang Yu, who was an anomaly, the others were also top-notch experts. Although their mechanics might not be at the level of a first-rate professional team, they weren't too far off. Moreover, Wuji was full of schemes and was extremely treacherous. He tricked people everywhere and his equipment was better than a professional team's. If this group of tigers and wolves fought in a professional competition, Blood Red War Flag would probably be defeated. He was clearly looking for someone to help him farm points. How did he get himself such a strong enemy? Don't worry, Blood Red War Flag. Since you're so loyal, we won't mistreat you. Isn't it just helping us farm points? Leave it to old cow. Wuji waved his hand and sold out Wang Yu. Blood Red War Flag wiped his sweat and said, There will be a system announcement in a few days. I'm just letting you guys know in advance. Since you guys have already formed a team, it wouldn't be good to let Ox God help us. Wuji laughed. It's fine. Your team is destined to lose anyway. All you need to do is pray that you don't meet us. F*CK. Blood Red War Flag was in tears. Only a shameless person could say such shameless words. However, after hearing what Wuji said, Blood Red War Flag felt a little uncertain. It couldn't be helped. Wang Yu had left a huge shadow in Blood Red War Flag's heart. Chapter 660. All in all, Blood Red War Flag had achieved their goal. Although they had recruited a strong enemy like Chuanjin, They had at least gotten Wang Yu to agree to help Blood Red War Flag farm points. Points and the arena did not belong to the same system, so Blood Red War Flag, naturally, did not have to worry about meeting Chuanjin in the preseason. As for the professional league, Blood Red War Flag's ranking was not too high. If they met Chuanjin in the qualifiers, it would be fate. What was even more commendable was that Wu Ji did not extort them, which made Blood Red War Flag feel lucky. After getting Wang Yu's promise, Blood Red War Flag left happily. Seeing that Blood Red War Flag had left, Chuanjin and the others gathered together to discuss the matter of forming a team. First, we have to form a team. After some discussion, everyone came to a consensus. Forming a team was not just a matter of forming a team. This was because a team was part of the competition system. No matter if it was an amateur or professional team, they had to go through the registration process in Rebirth. The registration process for a team was the same as that for a guild or a mercenary group. They were all in the administrative hall of the city government. The difference was that a guild was a large organization and was personally handled by the mayor. A team was a small organization and had a specialized NPC handle it. Due to the start of the season, the administrative hall, which was usually quiet, was full today. There were countless players who wanted to form a team. The administrative hall was filled with people asking, "What mission did you get? Grade F? F***CK, we're so lucky." Wang Yu was a little puzzled. Do we have to do a mission to form a team? Yes, to the system, a guild or a team is considered a private organization. If you want to form a private organization, you have to first prove your strength. Wu Ji nodded and explained. When Chuanjin was first formed, Wang Yu was not there, so Wang Yu did not experience this kind of thing. The missions are random? Wang Yu asked when he heard the people next to him discussing the mission levels. It's semi-random. There are a fixed number of missions every day. The earlier the team registers, the higher the chance of getting a low-level mission, Wu Ji said. Oh, no wonder everyone's fighting to be the first. As they spoke, a few more groups of people squeezed past them. At that moment, a scream came from the crowd. F***CK, a tier A appeared. This is great. Then, there was a burst of applause from the crowd. A group of unlucky people with pale faces squeezed out from the crowd who were gloating. Wang Yu turned his head to look at Wu Ji. Wu Ji shrugged and said, "There are only 2 of them for an A-rank mission. With their bad luck, they can totally buy a lottery ticket." Wang Yu said happily, "All right, there are so many people in front of us." As for Yu Huiqing's PK rate, it was so low that even the mayor couldn't believe it. At this moment, everyone saw that Wang Yu fit all 3 characteristics. They would rather believe it than not. Isn't it just picking a mission a bit later? You can go first. Am I that fierce? Wang Yu was also confused by everyone's reaction. She was such an amiable person, but why was it that she was even scarier than a dreadful beast? Wu Ji chuckled. What's fierce is public opinion. Wang Yu didn't know what to say. Due to Wang Yu's fierce reputation, the line in front of Chuanjin had already dispersed. Wu Ji led the team to the NPC in charge of managing the team under everyone's shocked gazes. Wang Yu awkwardly waved at the players around him. The players thought that Wang Yu was going to attack and didn't even dare to breathe. "Hello, how can I help you?" The NPC asked Wu Ji mechanically. "I want to register a team." "I'm sorry, you are already Chuanjin's guild leader, so you can't register a team," the NPC replied. "There is such a rule." Wu Ji muttered, "Who will be the team leader?" The members of the Quanzhen sect hurriedly pretended to look around at the scenery. They had to pay a registration fee to be the captain. Moreover, the captain of the Quanzhen sect didn't have any special privileges. Who would do such a strenuous and unrewarding thing? At this moment, Wu Ji saw Wang Yu smiling awkwardly. Chapter 661. Me? Why are you looking for me? It's not like I've been one before. Wang Yu said. Wu Ji smiled and said, It's great that one of us is the guild leader and the other is the captain. We don't need any work experience. Besides, you were the one who suggested the team. Really? We don't need any management experience? Wang Yu became interested when he heard this. Of course, the captain is different from the guild leader. The captain is usually the best at fighting. If anyone dares to disobey him, they can just beat him to death, Wuji said. Wang Yu smiled and said, I'm good at that. Wuji, you bastard. The Chuanjian people angrily pointed at Wuji, but Wuji pretended not to see them. The players in the corner were secretly frightened. Beat him to death if he doesn't agree. As expected of Chuanjian, his style is unique. Wang Yu walked in front of the NPC, took out 20 gold coins, and submitted the team registration application. Then, the NPC pointed at the slot machine behind him and said, Please draw your trial quest. Just as the NPC finished speaking, the players' gazes followed the NPC to the slot machine. Everyone was excited. After all, every time someone else drew a high-grade quest, their chances of drawing a high-grade quest would decrease. Old cow, please don't draw an S-rank quest. Chun Xiang whispered. Haha, you think too highly of old cow. Mingdu smiled and said, Other than some strange things, old cow has never touched anything good. What do you know? Wang Yu rolled his eyes at Mingdu and then pulled the slot machine. As the slot machine's screen spun, everyone's hearts rose to their throats. Finally, the slot machine stopped and the NPC said indifferently, S-rank quest. Deep in the setting sun forest, kill the Beast King Emperor June. System notification. You have activated the Battle Team Trial Quest Beast King Emperor June S-rank. Do you accept? Notice. This is an S-rank trial quest. Once abandoned, you cannot accept it again within 48 hours. Hearing the NPC's words, everyone in the administrative hall fell silent. All the players were laughing so hard that they were about to have cramp. However, none of them dared to make a sound. Serves you right for acting tough and drawing the grand prize. F***ck, old cow, you scum. I didn't see you this good in the OSS. Mingdu was about to collapse. It was an S-rank quest. Although it was hung up in the administrative hall every day, the chances of drawing it were as low as the double-toned ball. Since the start of the game, there had been many A-rank and B-rank quests, but no team had ever drawn an S-rank quest. Wang Yu, on the other hand, had drawn an S-rank quest on his first try. Cut the crap. I'm the team leader now. If you don't like it, I'll beat you to death, Wang Yu said with a black face. F***ck. Wang Yu ignored the crying Mingdu and turned to ask Wuji, Is the S-rank trial mission very difficult? It's not easy. Seeing Bao San's notification, everyone was stunned. D**MN, since the quest notification said to buy fruits, then they definitely had to buy them. However, after playing the game for so long, they had only heard of places that sold wine and food. They had never heard of a place that sold fruits in the game. Ask all of them, Wang Yu instructed. She opened her friends list and sent a message. Does anyone know where I can buy fruits? After the message was sent, most replied, I don't know. A few replied, There are places that sell fruits in this game? The idiots replied, D**MN, why are you sending it to me? Mu Zixian replied, Why? Do you want to eat fruits? I just bought some apples at home. I'm doing a quest. Wang Yu wiped his sweat and replied. At such a crucial moment, none of them were reliable. Just as Wang Yu was feeling depressed, the notification list lit up again. Wang Yu opened it and saw that it was from Red Spider Lily. There's a fruit stall at the corner of the West Gate. They sell all kinds of fruit. What do you like to eat? Red Spider Lily asked. I like. It has nothing to do with that. What are the coordinates of the fruit stall? Wang Yu asked. Coordinates, thank you, Wang Yu replied and then said to the people of Chuanjian, at the West Gate. Chapter 662. The people of Chuanjian looked at the fruit stall and clicked their tongues. Damn, Doing business in such a deserted place? Are they selling to ghosts? Won't they lose money? The fruit stall was located in a remote area, and it was pitifully small. If one didn't look carefully, they probably wouldn't be able to find it even if they stood on the street. Aya, how did you find this lousy place? Wang Yu was surprised and curious as he messaged Red Spider Lily. It's none of your business. Red Spider Lily replied in annoyance, leaving Wang Yu at a loss. Wang Yu didn't know that some women had a natural instinct for things like fruits and snacks. Red Spider Lily happened to be such a foodie. She knew all the more remote places that sold snacks in Yuhuiqing. Of course, it wasn't a bad thing for women to be foodies, but when a man asked them about their faces, they definitely wouldn't be in a good mood. Although the fruit stall was small, it had a wide variety of fruit. There were bananas, apples, oranges, durians, and all sorts. Wuji walked up, grabbed an apple, and asked, "Boss, how much is this apple?" The fruit stall owner raised his head and looked at Wang Yu and the others before saying, "You guys want to buy it?" "Yes." Wuji nodded. "Who else would buy it in this lousy place?" "1 gold for one," the owner replied calmly. "1 catty for one? Is it that heavy?" Wuji grabbed the apple and weighed it before saying, "I didn't ask you about the weight, I asked about the price." "It's the price, 1 gold for one." The owner's tone was still calm. "What? 1 gold for one? 1 gold for one? That's too expensive." Hearing the owner say that, everyone in Chuanjin was dumbfounded. F***CK, the most popular intermediate health potion on the market was only at this price, yet he dared to charge 1 gold for a bunch of lousy fruits. They finally understood why this small stall didn't go bankrupt and close down. It was as if they could eat for 3 years after opening their business. "This is expensive? Let me tell you, my fruits are all carefully cultivated. Even the setting sun demonic apes in the setting sun forest love to eat them." The fruit stall owner boasted of his own sales. "Tsk. Mingdu said disdainfully, "Don't be so arrogant. I've seen many illegal merchants like you. You should be glad that you're an NPC. If you can't afford it, then scram." Before Mingdu could finish speaking, the fruit stall owner directly rebuked Mingdu. F***CK, how can you say that? Mingdu was furious. He raised his staff and was about to flip the table. Wang Yu quickly reached out and pulled Mingdu to the side. "Oldly, are you crazy, Smash? I've flipped dozens of such stalls in the past." Alright, stop showing off," Wuji said. "Can't you tell that this guy is an intelligent NPC?" "So what if it's intelligent?" Mingdu said in disdain. Wang Yu said, "Do you believe that if you flip his stall, he'll forcefully sell his fruits to you for 10 gold each?" Mingdu heard this and shivered. He immediately broke out in a cold sweat. F***CK, these days there were tricks everywhere in the game. With how shameless the game company was, they might do something like this. "Boss, give me 50 apples." Wuji took out 50 gold and handed it over. The boss skillfully took out a bag of apples and threw it to Wuji. He said, "Give me a few durians for my girlfriend." "I don't have a girlfriend," Wuji said. "How pitiful! It must be because you're poor." The boss sighed. F***CK. Wuji secretly spat out a mouthful of blood. He was actually looked down upon by a F***king NPC. "Then give me 10 durians," Wuji said. The boss didn't stop and continued to recommend. "Do you want peaches and bananas? The sunset demonic apes in Sunset Forest love them." "Alright, give me a set of each." Wuji was speechless at this boss. He must have entered the program of a supermarket's sales robot. There were 50 fruits in a set, and it cost him a total of 500 gold. Wuji wiped off his cold sweat and turned around with his bag of fruit. The Chuanjin group looked at Wuji dumbfounded. "You want to buy fruits wholesale? What do you know? Let's go." Wuji coldly replied and walked out of the city. The Setting Sun Forest was the largest leveling area in Setting Sun City. The monsters there ranged from level 10 goblins to level 50 magical beasts. The Chuanjian sect's trial quest marked the depths of the setting sun forest as a level 50 monster area. The monsters here were very diverse. There were sunset pythons, sunset demonic leopards, sunset tigers, and so on. These monsters were all magical beasts. There weren't any humanoid monsters like goblins. As wild monsters, although the monsters here were level 50, their attributes were far inferior to the monsters in instance dungeons. The people from Quanzhun's sect were top-tier experts in terms of equipment and mechanical skills, so they did not feel much pressure when dealing with these monsters. They charged all the way to the deepest part of the setting sun forest. The Chuanjian group hadn't even reached the designated location when they heard the sounds of fighting in the distance. During this time, there were also the angry roars of monsters. This sound was very strange. It didn't have a fixed location and seemed to be coming from all directions. "It's over there." After listening for a while, Wang Yu pointed to the left and said, "The sound is coming from over there. Let's go take a look." After giving the order, Wuji hurriedly followed behind Wang Yu and walked to the left. As expected, the further they went to the left, the louder the sound. Under Wang Yu's lead, the Chuanjian group soon arrived near a wide open space. In the open space, there was a golden-red strange bird fighting with an NPC dressed like a warrior. The NPC warrior was wearing heavy armor and wielding a heavy sword. He seemed to have the upper hand, but the golden-red strange bird kept flapping its wings and summoning all kinds of magical beasts to attack and harass the NPC warrior. Every time the warrior was about to attack the strange bird, the magical beasts would stop him. Therefore, although the NPC warrior seemed to have the upper hand, he was actually very passive. Wang Yu casually cast a detection spell and then sent the NPC and the monster's attributes to the party. Bounty Hunter, Doke, LV 50. Gold Boss, Elite, Skill, Weapon Warrior Mastery Talent. Taming Beast King, Dijuan LV 50. Dark Gold Boss, Epic HP, 3000000 MP. 5000000 Skill. Flaming Thousand Feather Strike, Flaming Wing Slash, Divine Beast Bloodline Talent. Nirvana, this is the Beast King, Dijuan? When Wang Yu saw the strange bird's attributes, he was slightly surprised and said, "This should be a Beast King. I have to say, the Beast King Dijuan's feathers are shining gold, its beak is sharp, and there is a big red crown on its head. If not for the red flames surrounding its body, it would clearly be a huge rooster." Chapter 663. Not only did King Dijuan look like a chicken, but he also squeaked like one. He would squeak for no reason, and his behavior was rather ungentlemanly. To place one's pride, he covered his ears and said, "Sh*T, this thing's squeaking is so unpleasant." "Nonsense. If it had a squeaky voice, you would have to pay to play with it," Mingdu laughed. Yang Na was speechless. She raised the crossbow in her hand and said, "I'll kill you if you continue to be so naughty." Mingdu shrank his neck in fear and stopped talking. While Wang Yu and the others were talking nonsense, King Dijuan had already launched a counterattack. He swung his flaming broadsword at Doke. Doke was agile enough to dodge and counterattack at the same time. He was able to hold his ground for a while. Both were level 50 bosses, but one was a gold elite and the other was a dark gold epic. Yet, they were in a stalemate for so long. It was clear that humanoid monsters were more suitable for combat than beasts of the same level. Although Doke the Bounty Hunter was a humanoid monster, the difference in rank was too great. He jumped up and down and fought beautifully, but he could not hurt King Dijuan at all. Instead, his HP kept dropping. Chuanjian was full of experts. They could naturally tell who was weaker in this situation, so they all aimed their weapons at King Dijuan. "Don't attack first! Don't attack first!" Wang Yu and Wuji suddenly said in unison. The rest of Chuanjian was stunned. They turned to Wang Yu and Wuji and asked, "Why?" Wang Yu and Wuji looked at each other and said, you first. Wuji smirked and said, Dok can't beat King Dijuan. When he can't, we can take advantage of the situation and reap some benefit. Wuji, this grandson, was indeed a shameless person. He could even react when he was trying to take advantage of the situation. What about you? Why not? Wuji asked Wang Yu. Don't tell me you're thinking the same thing? I'm not as shameless as you. Wang Yu wiped the sweat off his forehead. Dok is not on our side yet. If we rush to help, he will definitely join forces with Beast King Dijuan to deal with us. So, we have to wait for him to ask for our help. Wang Yu's adaptive thinking had long been trained by the system's method of faking an accident. When encountering this kind of thing, being too proactive would definitely get him into trouble. That's right. If he dares to ask for our help, we can take the opportunity to negotiate. Wuji added. The rest of Quanzhen sucked in a breath of cold air. What exactly had these two experienced in the past? Even the system's despicable trick could be countered by them. Just as Wang Yu had said, when Dok's HP fell to 30%, he rushed towards Wang Yu's group and shouted loudly. Respected warriors, please save me. Wuji replied, We want to help too, but this chicken is too ferocious. We can't beat it. Perhaps Dok's IQ was low, but he did not know what to say when he heard Wuji's words. At the same time, he stomped on Beast King Dijuan's head. Bang, 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 boom. Wang Yu used Eagle Stamp and Thunder Stomp to stomp on Beast King Dijuan's coxcomb. His high priority crushed Beast King Dijuan's head to the ground. Ga. Wang Yu's damage was much higher than Yinlao Air's, and Beast King Dijuan's aggro was drawn to him. Beast King Dijuan roared and swung his head at Wang Yu. Wang Yu smiled and jumped back, stabbing his staff into Beast King Dijuan's eye. 22145-inch GA. Wang Yu's attack had clearly hit Beast King Dijuan's vital spot. Beast King Dijuan wailed, and his wings ignited in flames as he swept them from left to right. Wang Yu rolled forward to Beast King Dijuan's lower abdomen. He changed his weapon to a long sword and stabbed upwards, dealing another critical hit. Beast King Dijuan was infuriated as he tried to grab Wang Yu with his claws. Wang Yu turned around and grabbed one of Beast King Dijuan's claws with one hand while holding a sword with the other. Then, Wang Yu started stabbing Beast King Dijuan's body. Seeing that Wang Yu had stabilized the battle, the Chuanzhen members surrounded Dok. Chapter 664. What do you want? Dok's face turned pale when he saw the Chuanzhen people surrounding him. He leaned against a tree and stared at Wuji and the others with vigilance. Wuji chuckled. Hee, nothing much. I heard you are a gold boss. So what? Dok instinctively placed his long sword in front of his chest. You are still low on HP, Wuji said. Hee, I can kill a few of you even if I only have this little bit of HP. Dok said proudly. That's right, but our lives are worthless. If you die, you will die for real. Dok was speechless. He said coldly, How much do you want this time? How much do you think your information is worth? Wuji raised his staff and pointed it at Dok. Mingdu, Chun Xiang, and the others also took out their weapons. Ga? Dok was just about to offer a price to buy himself a way out when suddenly, an ear-piercing cry rang out. Everyone's hair stood on end. Everyone looked at Beast King Dijuan in unison. They saw Beast King Dijuan's body covered in flames as he spread his wings and jumped up. Indeed, he jumped. His short wings and fat body did not fit the elegant description of flying. As King Dijuan's body was covered in flames, Wang Yu had no choice but to jump down from King Dijuan's chicken claws. After King Dijuan jumped, he swooped down and turned into a ball of flames. His wings were like flaming blades as he slashed at Wang Yu. King Dijuan's wings were 6 meters wide and extremely fast. It was too late for Wang Yu to dodge. Seeing that King Dijuan was about to hit him, Wang Yu kicked the ground and lay on the ground. King Dijuan's body was almost touching Wang Yu's. At this moment, Wang Yu suddenly stomped his feet and used Thunder Stomp. His feet were surrounded by lightning as he ruthlessly kicked Beast King Dijun's abdomen. Beast King Dijun was already diving down at a high speed. When he was kicked by Wang Yu, he was unable to restrain his strength and crashed towards Wuji and the rest. Damn! Everyone from the Chuanjin sect had been staring at Wang Yu. When Wang Yu was lying on the ground, everyone thought that Wang Yu was just trying to dodge. They never expected that this brat would have such a wild way of fighting back. Seeing Emperor Jun flying over, Quan Zhen and the others immediately scattered. Poor Wuji did not have any movement skills, and his true position was the most obvious. There was no way he could escape. He had no choice but to cast an invincible aura on himself and hide behind a tree behind Doke. Bang! Orc King Dijun smashed his head into Doke's body, reducing his remaining HP to a bloody pulp. King Dijun got up and looked around. He stepped on Doke and charged at Wang Yu again. Seeing that King Dijun had left, Wuji shook his staff and healed Doke. He then said in fear, "Meow, my money tree is almost gone." As he spoke, Wuji pointed his staff at Doke again. "How much did you say it was?" Doke sneered. "I advise you to keep it a secret." "Why?" "Look over there." Doke pointed at King Dijun, who was entangling with Wang Yu again. King Dijun was big, but he was still a domestic animal. He only had 2 claws and 2 wings. It was not as convenient for him to fight as a wild beast. After charging at Wang Yu again, Wang Yu jumped back and was about to hit him with a stick. However, King Dijun stopped 5 or 6 meters away from Wang Yu. Wang Yu was stunned. Just as he was about to rush over, King Dijun suddenly flapped his wings and flapped them on the ground. Immediately afterward, balls of flames rose from the ground and twisted into more than a dozen monsters. Flaming Demon Wolf, LV50, Elite, Skills. Bite, Flame Spray Talent, Illusion Monster Introduction. King Dijun has the bloodline of a divine beast. After killing a monster, he can enslave the monster's soul to fight for him. Flaming Demon Leopard, LV55, Elite, HP, 250000 MP, 15,000 Skills. Pounce, Flaming Blade Talent, Illusion Monster Introduction. King Dijun has the bloodline of a divine beast. After killing a monster, he can enslave the monster's soul to fight for him. After turning into a monster, its body began to blur. Just as Wang Yu was checking the monster's attributes, the monsters split into 3, reducing the number from a dozen to a few dozen. Ga! Beast King Dijun roared at the sky, and dozens of flaming beasts pounced on Wang Yu. Wang Yu's eyes narrowed. He changed his weapon into a long stick and smashed it at the flaming demon leopard. Phew, when Wang Yu's stick hit the flaming demon leopard, he did not feel like he had hit something. Instead, he felt a sense of weightlessness. When he looked closely, he saw that the stick had passed through the flaming demon leopard's body and hit the ground. "Oh no! It's fake!" Wang Yu exclaimed in his heart. He took the opportunity to slam the long rod into the ground and jumped up. At that moment, a few more flaming devil leopards pounced on him. Wang Yu used both of her arms to support the staff as she kicked the 2 monsters with both of her legs. The result was the same as before. When Wang Yu's kicks landed on the 2 monsters, he did not feel anything. The 2 monsters pounced on Wang Yu like shadows. Wang Yu was speechless. It turned out that this guy was bluffing. Thinking of this, Wang Yu put away his stick and landed on the ground. He stomped on the ground and was about to rush at King Dijun. Just then, 2 demon wolves ran behind Wang Yu and bit Wang Yu's ankles. Wang Yu thought they were just illusions, so he ignored them. Crack! Wang Yu suddenly felt his feet sink. -452 to 251 disabled. Movement speed decreased by 30%. F***CK. Why did they become real again? Wang Yu turned pale with fright. At the same time, dozens of monsters surrounded Wang Yu and attacked Wang Yu. Flames and flaming blades flew at Wang Yu. As these monsters were illusions of souls, Wang Yu could not feel any aura flow. At this time, Wang Yu's aura-sensing skill was useless. He could not tell which monsters were real and which were fake. Seeing these monsters attacking him, Wang Yu had to use his footwork to dodge the magic spells flying at him. Fortunately, these monsters' attacks were single target. Although there were dozens of monsters surrounding them, Wang Yu could barely deal with them with the help of his mysterious footwork. At this time, the Chuanjian people also noticed the situation on Wang Yu's side and rushed over. Yin Lao Air lowered his head and charged into the encirclement. He arrived at Wang Yu's side and used an AoE taunt skill. More than half of the monsters were immediately sucked to Yin Lao Air's side. At that time, Bao San activated Whirlwind Slash. At the same time, Spring Source Dark Barrier enveloped Wang Yu and the others. Mingdu's Heavenly Fire Thunder followed closely. It was still the sound of skills being used. Chapter 665. Wang Yu and Yin Lao Air were inside Chun Xiang's Dark Barrier, watching as Bao San's Whirlwind Slash swept up Mingdu's magic and slashed at the monsters. Bao San's attack was the same as Wang Yu's, completely ineffective. These monsters were just illusions. F***ck. Mingdu cursed on the spot. They were a group of experts, yet they were tricked into using their skills by a group of monsters. Playing as an eagle all year round only to be tricked by an eagle. To place one's pride, Mingjian Daosu and the others reacted quickly. Seeing that Mingdu and Chun Xiang's skills had missed, they quickly changed their target and pounced at the dozen monsters that had escaped. Yang Na and Ling Longming's arrows arrived first. 6 arrows landed on the bodies of the 6 monsters, but to everyone's surprise, the arrows pierced through the bodies of the monsters. F***ck, why are they fake again? Exquisite Dream was slightly shocked. Logically speaking, the illusions were all near Wang Yu, so these monsters should all be real. How could it be so strange? Could it be that the real bodies were on the bodies of the other monsters? Thinking up to this point, Exquisite Dream and Yang Na raised their crossbows again and aimed at the other monsters. To place one's pride and the 2 assassins had already rushed in front of the monsters. They swung their fists and daggers at the monsters in front of them. Without exception, the third wave of attacks also missed. None of the monsters present were real. F***ck, they're all fake. This boss is too weak. How shameless! Seeing that all his skills had missed, Mingdu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. To these experts, being tricked by monsters was a very embarrassing thing. Now that these monsters had been proven to be fake, Mingdu felt an indescribable joy. That's impossible, Wang Yu said. They clearly hit me. Just now, Wang Yu had been bitten twice. The crippling effect was definitely real, so there was no way that all of these monsters were fake. Could it be that these are ghost-type monsters? Yin Lao frowned. From the monsters' introduction, these monsters were enslaved souls, so the possibility of them being ghosts was very high. I don't think so. If it's a ghost monster, Old Li Chick and Old Meng's attacks will not be useless. Bao San objected. In the setting of Rebirth, although ghosts were not afraid of physical attacks, they did not have any magic resistance. In particular, lightning and light magic could cause fatal damage to ghosts. However, Mingdu's magic had covered all the monsters here. To place one's prides, Shadow Chain Kick and Exquisite Dreams, Shadow Binding Arrow, were all skills with magic damage. The 3 of their skills did not cause any damage to the monsters, directly overturning Yin Lao Air's guess. Just when everyone was confused about what was going on, the monsters surrounding Wang Yu and the 2 warriors were dispelled. This S-rank quest was really unreasonable. How about it? Do you want to hear my secret? Doke asked Wuji with a smile. Go ahead. Wuji nodded. Before I became a warrior, I was a beast tamer. I've done some research on Beastmaster. Although its summoning skill is difficult to deal with, there is a way to counter it. What is it? The simplest way is to use the gem of truth, Doke said. If you say such nonsense again, I'm going to kill you, Wuji said coldly. Wuji had participated in the closed beta, so he naturally knew what the gem of truth was. It was a special item that could detect invisible unit. The gem of truth was different from lime powder. Lime powder could only detect invisible units in an area, while the gem of truth allowed players to see invisible units. Currently, the shadows of the monsters were not real, so it was useless even if they were marked by lime powder. Therefore, the gem of truth could be said to be the nemesis of all shadow-type classes and assassins. Its value was comparable to that of a celestial equipment. If Wuji had such an item, he would not need to waste his breath on this bastard. Chapter 666. Male Dusk Demonic Apes? And Taming Them? Wuji felt a headache coming on when he heard that. Rebirth had yet to release a pet system, much less taming skills. Therefore, for players, taming a monster was far more difficult than killing one. Moreover, only males of dusk demonic apes had the innate talent of hiding. Damn it. In real life, animals could be distinguished by their external characteristic. How could they distinguish between the monsters in the game? Yes. In fact, taming is very simple. I can tell you the secret for free, Doke said with a smile, as long as you cater to their interests. Cater to their interests. Wuji rubbed his chin. What do dusk demonic apes like? What do you like? Money and women. I can't possibly find a bunch of female monkeys for them. Wuji frowned. Animals, nothing more than eating. You understand, right? Doke said. When Wuji heard this, his eyes lit up. I understand. Wuji had placed his thoughts on the monsters and neglected the simple nature of the monsters. No wonder the mission prompt said to bring more fruit. So this was the key to the mission. Everyone, quickly escape from the battle. Follow me. After understanding how to tame dusk demonic apes, Wuji shouted to everyone on the battlefield. Only Wang Yu and the other two were fighting on the battlefield. The others were thinking of ways to help. When they heard Wuji shout, they were puzzled and asked, "Why are we following you?" "To catch monkeys," Wuji said. "Damn it." Everyone was furious. "We are about to be killed, and you still have the time to catch monkeys." At this time, Beast King Dijun had already rushed to the side of Wang Yu and the other two. Originally, the three of them were able to fend off the monsters with their backs against their back. But when Beast King Dijun rushed up, the situation immediately became one-sided. Surrounded by the monsters, the three of them could not reach Beast King Dijun. Beast King Dijun's fire magic was extremely high, so he sealed off the encirclement. If it was Wang Yu alone, even if he could not fight, it would be easy to escape. But if Wang Yu ran, Bao San and Yin Lao Er would definitely die here. Wang Yu had to fend off the attacks of Beast King Dijun and the monster, and at the same time, he had to take care of Yin Lao and Bao San. Although Mingdu, Chun Xiang, and the others could not help much, they could still help to disperse the monsters. If they left now, Wang Yu and the other two would not be able to hold on. Wuji said, "Monkey is the key to the quest. If we don't catch him, we can't complete the quest." This, Chun Xiang, Mingdu, and the others were in a difficult position. Bao San and Yin Lao Er were also in a dilemma. They knew that they did not have the skills of Wang Yu, so why did they provoke the monsters at close range? They were finished. If they were killed in the dungeon, they would at most lose equipment. If they were killed in the wild, they would lose experience. Now that Bao San and Yin Lao Er were level 40, 10% experience was enough for them to grind for several days. While everyone was in a dilemma, Wang Yu suddenly shouted, "Brother Chun, attack us!" "Attack you? Can't you stand the pain of being bitten?" Chun Xiang said, "Our attacks can't kill you." Wang Yu was fine. He was agile and could dodge the monster's attacks. Bao San and Yin Lao Er were not as skilled as Wang Yu, so they were bitten again and again. If these monsters had high attack, they would have a good time. However, these monsters did not have high attack, and their attacks slowed them down. It was disgusting. "What's with all the nonsense? Just attack!" Bao San shouted. He was not in a good mood after being scratched by the monsters for so long. "Okay." Chun Xiang nodded. He waved his staff and released a dark barrier at Wang Yu and the others. Mingdu also summoned a spell and threw it at Wang Yu's head. At the same time, Yin Lao Er raised his left hand and pointed his middle finger at the monsters. He shouted, "Bastard!" More than half of the monsters were attracted to the three of them. The remaining dozen scattered in all directions. Seeing this, Wang Yu rushed to the front of Beast King Dijun. He raised his left palm into the shape of a claw and fiercely held Beast King Dijun's chin with his illusory hand shadow. Fist Aura converts the weapon in the hand into battle chi for a period of time. Increases attack power and attack range by 30% for 35 seconds. Wang Yu's attack power was very high and her priority was already very high. With the 30% bonus from the Fist Aura, although it was not enough to knock the boss back, it was still possible to shut the boss up when it was caught off guard. Wang Yu placed his palm on Beast King Dijun's chin, and the flames in Beast King Dijun's mouth came to an abrupt halt. Without the suppression of the flames, Bao San and Yin Lao continued to charge forward and arrived at Chun Xiang's side. "Niu Go, come quickly!" Bao San shouted to Wang Yu after escaping danger. "No need." Wang Yu waved his hand and said, "I'll hold him back for a while. You guys hurry up." Only Wang Yu's attack had dealt any damage to Beast King Dijun. Therefore, Beast King Dijun hated Wang Yu to the core. This fellow was an epic boss. It was very likely that his aggro would be directed toward the entire setting sun forest. In fact, he might even fight Wang Yu to the death. If Wang Yu forcefully left the battle, he would definitely take Beast King Dijun with him. If that happened, everyone from the Quanzhen sect would be surrounded. Wang Yu could not take care of 2 people. If he had to take care of 10 people, Wang Yu and his team would die. How could Xuanzhen's team not understand this logic? When they saw that Wang Yu did not leave, they did not waste any more time. They turned around and followed Wuji out of the clearing. After all, time waited for no man. It was better to find the key to completing the quest than to waste time talking nonsense. After Bao San and Yin Lao Er escaped the encirclement, the monsters quickly surrounded them again. Emperor Jun flapped his wings and used total annihilation to attack Wang Yu. Wang Yu smiled. He calmly leaped up and stepped on Emperor Jun's wings. Emperor Jun lifted his wings, and Wang Yu used the momentum to fly above Emperor Jun's neck. Although Wang Yu had dodged Beast King Dijun's attack, Beast King Dijun's back and wings were wreathed in flames. He dealt a lot of magic damage to Wang Yu every second. Standing on Beast King Dijun was no different from committing suicide. Seeing that his HP was decreasing, Wang Yu took out a long spear from his backpack. He held the spear in his left hand and the long staff in his right hand. He stood on Emperor Jun's head, as if he was standing on stilts. He looked as if he was standing on stilts. He looked like he was standing on nothing. Fortunately, Grandmasters of Combat were born with dual-wielding skills. If it were any other profession, no matter how skilled Wang Yu was, she would not be able to stand up against Beast King Dijun, who was swaying around randomly. Chapter 667. Wang Yu was a normal person in real life. He did not have any experience with crutches. The reason he was able to stand on Emperor Jun's back with 2 long weapons was because of his arm strength and balance. Since there was no stamina in the game, it was much easier for him. He did not have to worry about his arms breaking. However, Emperor Jun's swaying made it difficult for him to maintain his balance. Emperor Jun was huge. His swaying had a huge impact on Wang Yu. Wang Yu's body fell to the side uncontrollably. Seeing that Wang Yu was about to fall into the flames, Wang Yu stretched out his hand and retracted his left hand, using a technique of borrowing force to stabilize his body. Jia! Emperor Jun roared angrily when he saw that he could not shake Wang Yu off. His body began to shake hysterically. Wang Yu held the long rod and long spear with both hands. She was like a small boat in the middle of the sea, constantly extending and retracting according to the direction and strength of Beast King Dijun's movements. No matter how Emperor Jun jumped up and down, Wang Yu seemed to be glued to him. He could not shake him off. Jia! Emperor Jun roared again, the flames on his body burning a foot high. However, the weapons in Wang Yu's hands were 2 meters long. Even if Wang Yu was stuck in the middle of the weapons, Emperor Jun's flames could only reach the soles of Wang Yu's feet. Jia! At that moment, all the monsters on the ground disappeared. Then, the flames on Emperor Jun's body began to transform into 10 new monsters. Flaming Demonic Tiger, LV60, Elite, HP, 300000 MP, 20,000 skills. Tiger Pounce, Flaming Tail Whip, Hungry Tiger Bite, Big Fireball innate skill. Transmogrification. Although the number of monsters had decreased, the Flaming Demonic Tiger's attributes were much stronger than the previous 2 monsters. It also had 2 more skills. Wang Yu was already in a disadvantageous position. Now that he was surrounded by these monsters, he was in even more danger than before. The Flaming Demonic Tiger's innate skill was also transmogrification. With a sway of its body, one Flaming Demonic Tiger split into 3. 30 demonic tigers pounced at Wang Yu. Seeing the height of the Flaming Demonic Tiger's pounce, Wang Yu couldn't help but be startled. Although they were both felines, the Flaming Demonic Tiger's pounce was half the height of the Flaming Demonic Leopard. It was more than 2 meters tall. Seeing this, Wang Yu quickly pointed his weapon at Beast King Dijun's back. He swayed and slanted, and then did a 180-degree roundhouse kick. After fighting with these monsters for a few rounds, Wang Yu gradually figured out their pattern. Before his real body was exposed, these monsters could transform at any time, rendering Wang Yu's attacks ineffective. Of course, there were 2 sides to every coin. Wang Yu's roundhouse kick caused the Flaming Demonic Tiger behind him to turn illusory, just as Wang Yu had expected. When the Flaming Demonic Tigers were about to attack Wang Yu, all Wang Yu had to do was attack the Flaming Demonic Tigers at the same time, and the monsters would turn invisible. Wang Yu could not hit these monsters, and similarly, these monsters could not hit Wang Yu. This way, the pressure on Wang Yu was greatly reduced. He only had to deal with the big fireballs, which were hard to tell if they were real or fake. This was not a difficult task for Wang Yu. What was supposed to be a dead end was miraculously stabilized. Dok, who was next to the tree, looked at Wang Yu, who was having fun on Dijun's head, and touched his chin meaningfully. At this time, Wuji and the others had arrived at the coordinates given by Dok. As expected, there was a group of monkeys, Sunset Magic Ape, LV50, HP, 150000 MP, 5000 skill, rock throwing talent. Still, the Sunset Magic Ape's attributes were very average. Only its talent was a little disgusting, but it was easy to deal with. Damn, how do they differentiate between males and females? To place one's pride could not help but complain when he saw the Sunset Magic Ape. The Sunset Magic Apes looked like they were carved from the same mold. It was hard to tell who was who without a mark, let alone a male or female. Ugh. Chapter 668. In reality, gender was usually determined by the crotch. Everyone did this out of habit. However, as a holographic simulation game, the monsters in Rebirth were quite realistic. Although the Dusk Demonic Ape was not human, it was still a primate. It would be a little inelegant to put gender into its appearance. Therefore, everyone saw that the Dusk Demonic Ape's crotch was completely empty. Seeing this, Mingdu could not help but say gloomily, F***CK. Game designers are too F***king despicable. Everyone looked askance. F***CK. If the game designers really put gender into the appearance, that would be really despicable. Wuji, what do you think? Everyone asked Wuji. Wuji frowned and thought for a moment. How about we strip little Meng and throw her over there? I heard that monkeys have the same aesthetic standards as humans. The one that pounces on is definitely a male. F***ck. Meng Linglong was furious. I think we can just strip you and throw you over there. I'm not a girl. Wuji spread his hands. Linglong Meng said, It's okay, there's a female monkey. Everyone nodded thoughtfully and turned to look at Wuji. Animals like monkeys were not reserved when it came to expressing their nature. If it was as Wuji said, throwing Wuji over would have the same effect. Although Wuji had a lot of tricks up his sleeves, everyone was more willing to offend a crazy woman like Linglong Meng. F***ck, what are you doing? F***ck, what are you guys trying to do? Wuji was shocked and asked in a panic. To place one's pride, and Mingdu rolled up their sleeves and took a step forward. Wuji's face was pale. He pointed at the two and said, If you take another step forward, I'll die in front of you. Alright, stop fooling around. Chun Xiang saw that the two bastards were really going to strip Wuji and quickly stopped them. What do we do? Brother Chun, do you want to volunteer? Mingdu asked with a smile. Chun Xiang said, There's no need to go through so much trouble. Don't we have fruits? Just throw some fruit. Throwing fruits? Everyone was stunned. Is there any explanation? Don't monkeys like to eat fruits? If one of the monkeys did not like to eat fruit, it would be reasonable to throw the fruit. Since they had the same hobbies, throwing the fruit was basically equivalent to feeding them food. Chun Xiang smiled wretchedly. Everyone had goosebumps all over their bodies. Then, Chun Xiang said, I think that the monkey that likes to eat peaches should be the male monkey, and the monkey that likes to eat bananas should be the female monkey. F***ck, bitch. With a crazy woman like exquisite Meng around, the thoughts of Chuanzhen's people spread out very quickly. After hearing Chun Xiang's words, everyone was first stunned, then speechless, and finally collapsed. Motherf***, this old pervert, they thought he had some brilliant idea, but he actually showed off his shamelessness. Seeing everyone's expression, Yang Na asked Linglong Meng foolishly, What do you mean? Do monkeys of different genders really like different fruits? Linglong Meng spat out a mouthful of blood and explained to Yang Na in a low voice. Yang Na's little face instantly turned red, and she glared at Chun Xiang fiercely. Chun Xiang said proudly, How is it? This old man's plan is very unique, right? We can take them down without a single casualty. Get lost. Old pervert. Everyone gave him the middle finger. Hey Wuji, you grandson, this old man is helping you, and you still dare to scold this old man? Chun Xiang said unhappily. Your brother-in-law, you old trash. Wuji said angrily, We are doing something serious, can you not be perverted? Although Chun Xiang had always been the perverted character of Chuanzhen, and he was not careless when it was time to do something serious, it was clearly not the right time for him to be perverted now. What is there to be perverted about? The system has set up this segment, so there must be a way to deal with it. Did you forget what the guy who sold the fruit said? Chun Xiang explained seriously. When Chun Xiang mentioned it, everyone immediately thought of the fruit stall owner's words. Do you want peaches and bananas? The sunset forest's dusk demonic apes love them. With this thought, everyone began to believe Chun Xiang's words. After playing the game for so long, everyone had encountered many S-rank quests. These types of quests were like brain teasers, and could not be solved with normal thinking, so they were known as impossible quests. Even so, S-rank quests also had breakthroughs. As long as one's mind was fast enough, it was not difficult to find a breakthrough point. Every expert player knew that in the course of an S-rank quest, every NPC's words could be a breakthrough point. Since the fruit stall owner had accidentally said this, it must be related to this quest. The fruit stall owner's meaning was very simple. The dusk demonic apes loved peaches and bananas. With this thought, Chun Xiang's thinking was basically correct. How to distinguish between male and female would definitely be related to peaches and bananas, but such a perverted method was still unacceptable to everyone. Do you think the designer is as perverted as you? Wuji said disdainfully. Oh? Are you saying that the designer isn't perverted enough? Chun Xiang retorted. Wuji was speechless again. To be honest, Wuji had played many games, but he had never seen a designer more shameless than the designer of Rebirth. The word perverted was practically made for them. Why don't we give it a try? Wuji asked the others. Let's give it a try. Otherwise, can you think of a more perverted method? Everyone agreed with Wuji's suggestion. It could not be helped. Chun Xiang's shameless words had deeply moved the people of Chuanjin. No wonder people often said that birds of a feather flock together. If it were any other player, they would definitely beat Chun Xiang to death. Who would agree with his rotten idea? Seeing that everyone was in agreement, Wuji took out a peach and a banana and threw them at the dusk demonic ape. When the dusk demonic apes saw the bananas and peaches, they immediately panicked and rushed to chase after them. Not long after, a system notification popped up. You fed dusk demonic ape Crim a specialty peach, Crim's loyalty plus 30. You fed dusk demonic ape Linda a specialty banana, Linda's loyalty plus 30, Crim, Linda, you could tell the gender from their names. F***ck, it really is like this? Wuji's jaw dropped when he saw the system notification. This game designer was indeed perverted. How about it? I knew it. Are you convinced? Chun Xiang said proudly. Everyone was speechless. Who would dare to be unconvinced if this was the case? Everyone, split up and catch them. In order to save time and not to confuse the monkeys, Wuji distributed the peaches to everyone and threw them into the group of monkeys. Chapter 669. When the Chuanjin members returned to the open space with one monkey each, Wang Yu was standing on Dijuan's head, confronting the flaming demonic tigers. Wang Yu stood on Beast King Dijun's head and couldn't get down. Beast King Dijun couldn't attack her, so he didn't have any temper. He just lay there listlessly and let Wang Yu do whatever she wanted. The members of Chuanjin weren't surprised to see Wang Yu enjoying himself by stepping on Dijuan's head. After all, they were used to Wang Yu's perverseness and were already numb to it. What should we do now? Everyone from Quanzhen asked Wuji with their sunset demonic ape. Wuji wanted to catch some monkeys, but they just stared blankly at the fruits in their hands. They didn't seem to have any intention of helping. Moreover, they had checked the attributes of the flaming demonic tigers. They reckoned that all the monkeys together wouldn't be able to defeat a single flaming demonic tiger. I don't know either. Wuji looked at Doke helplessly. Damn it, these monkeys have some kind of fiery golden eyes, but these monkeys are obviously as dumb as dogs. They can't move when they see food. When Doke saw Wuji and the others, he stood up and walked over. He smiled and asked, "Do you need my help?" "What should we do with these monkeys?" Wuji asked. "Leave it to me." Doke smiled, took out something from his pocket, and threw it at Beast King Dijuan. When the demonic apes saw the prop, their eyes turned red. They quickly moved away from the fruits in everyone's hands and ran to Dijuan's side. Bang! All the dusk demonic apes squatted on the ground and bared their fangs at Dijuan. At the same time, their fur turned from scarlet to golden, and their eyes shone like searchlights on the fiery demonic tiger's body. The dusk demonic ape's eyes shone like a searchlight. The dusk demonic ape was shocked. After the fiery demonic tigers were illuminated by the light, they revealed their true forms. Under the eyes of fire and gold, the shadows turned black. At this moment, Wuji and the others were shocked to discover that the sunset demonic ape's attributes had changed. Its level and main attributes were now identical to the flaming demonic tigers. I couldn't tell, but this Doke is quite powerful. Seeing this scene, Linglong Meng clicked her tongue in praise, while the expressions of Wuji, Chun Xiang, and the others changed. Wuji, how much did you pay Doke for him to tell you this secret? Chun Xiang asked Wuji in the chat. Wuji shook his head solemnly. I didn't ask for money. When we were helping Old Cow fight, did he try to attack you? Mingdu asked. No. At this point, Wuji's expression became even more solemn. The NPCs in A Rebirth had always been scammers. Even if they were from the same faction, they would still scam the players. Doke had clearly been threatened by the people from the Quanjin sect, but now, not only did he take the initiative to help the people from the Quanjin sect, he didn't even ask for a single cent. He who is unaccountably solicitous is hiding evil intentions. Kill him! To place one's pride roared. He turned around and launched a blink chain kick at Doke. Hee, I wanted to play with you guys for a while, but you seem to have sensed it. Doke smiled and blocked to place one's pride skill with his greatsword. Then, he spun his greatsword and sent to place one's pride flying. F***ck. Seeing to place one's pride sent flying, Chuanjin's people were stunned. To place one's pride had the epic tier weapon Despair Stinger. Although he was a grandmaster of combat, his attributes were not inferior to Bao San's. As for his techniques, he already had a good foundation in martial arts. He was even taught a thing or two by Wang Yu every now and then. Chuanjin's experts were like the clouds, but other than Wang Yu, no one dared to confidently say that they could beat him. Moreover, to place one's pride had also obtained the Grandmaster of Combat's ultimate skill, Blink Chain Kick. Its attack power was high, and its priority was even higher than Wang Yu's. Yet, he couldn't even last one round before being sent flying. Wasn't Doke about to die? At this thought, everyone cast a detect spell on Doke. Bounty Hunter Doke LV50, Dark Gold Boss, Epic HP 3000000 MP, 5000000 Skill, Weapon Warrior Mastery Innate Skills, Taming, Steel Background Introduction. Doke can share the innate skills of his pet. Currently, he can share the skill, Steel. F***ck. Isn't that Orc King Dejuan's attributes? The shared skill, Steel. Could it be that Steel means to steal attributes? When everyone saw Doke's attributes become Beast King Dejun's, they immediately understood what was going on. The Sunset Magic Ape with trash attributes actually had such a shameless skill. It could actually steal a target's attributes and transfer them to itself. At this moment, Beast King Dejun and the Flaming Demonic Tiger had become the trash attributes of Doke and the Sunset Magic Ape. If there were no surprises, Doke would be the final boss of this quest. How could this cunning bastard be so shameless? While everyone was still in a daze, Doke charged at Orc King Dejuan. He then raised his sword with both hands and slashed at Orc King Dejuan's head with the level 40 warrior skill, Rising Dragon Break. Wang Yu was standing on top of Orc King Dejuan's head, ready to kill the Flaming Demonic Tiger. Suddenly, Wang Yu felt a murderous aura coming from below him. He hurriedly used Night Jump and jumped off Orc King Dejuan. Wang Yu saw a flash of sword light as soon as he landed. Then, Orc King Dejuan's head was cut off by Doke. Doke picked up Orc King Dejuan's head with his sword. Just as he was about to put it away, Wang Yu heard Wuji shout, "He's trying to steal the boss. Don't let him take the head." Hearing this, Wang Yu casually threw the spear in his hand. Doke couldn't dodge in time, and his wrist was pierced by Wang Yu's spear. Beast King Dejun's head fell to the ground involuntarily. At this moment, Wang Yu had already arrived. With a swing of his staff, he sent Beast King Dejun's head towards Wuji and the rest. Humph! Doke glanced at Wang Yu and whistled. The 10 Dusk Demonic Apes turned around and pounced on the Chuanjin members. "Hey, Little Black, don't you recognize me? I even fed you peaches." Everyone was shocked to see the Dusk Demonic Ape they tamed suddenly turn around and attack them. Mingdu shouted as he threw a peach at the Dusk Demonic Ape. However, the Dusk Demonic Ape didn't even look at it. It swung its paw and sent the peach flying. Then, it landed on all fours and roared at Mingdu. What? Then, it pounced on Mingdu. Not only did these guys steal the attributes of the flaming demonic tiger, but they also stole its personality. They're going to eat its meat. Chapter 670. F***CK. Mingdu's heart was about to jump out of his chest. Although the soaring spring demon had just died and its level was not high, it still had over 3,000 HP. It had been bitten to death in one bite. This monkey's attack power was too terrifying. Even a cloth-armored class would not be able to withstand it. Fortunately, the demon had bought Mingdu a second. Mingdu used Blink and teleported to the side of the team. At the same time, the Sunset Demonic Apes had caught up to Chuanjin's team. Kill them! Under Wuji's command, Bao San and Yin Lao Air rushed out and used Group Mockery and Whirlwind Slash to surround the Sunset Demonic Ape. Soaring Spring Demon's dark barrier fell and Mingdu's flame lightning descended from the sky. The Sunset Demonic Apes were only level 60 elite monsters, so their attributes were limited. Chuanjin's team was full of experts. After a wave of attacks, all the Sunset Demonic Apes were left with low HP. At that time, Ming Jian Daoxue and Baiming Yuyu activated swift movement under the cover of Exquisite Dream and Yang Na's arrows. Backstab, slit throat, gouge. In just a few seconds, the Dusk Magic Apes had all turned into corpses lying on the ground. To Place One's Pride ran back from the side. Wuji shouted at To Place One's Pride, "Chick, go and pick up the chicken head." To Place One's Pride was confused by Wuji's command. Chicken head? Did you say the first word wrong or the second word wrong? Look to your right. Wuji was sweating as he pointed at the Orc King Dijuan's head on the right side of To Place One's Pride. To Place One's Pride saw the Orc King Dijuan's head and realized that Wuji was not making fun of him. He really wanted him to pick up the chicken head. He quickly ran over. Humph! Sneaky bastard! On the other side, Doke and Wang Yu were staring at each other. Seeing that To Place One's Pride was walking toward Beast King Dijuan's head, Doke snorted coldly and turned around to attack To Place One's Pride. Good chance. Seeing Doke turn around, Wang Yu thought to himself. The long staff in his hand suddenly shot out and swept horizontally across the ground, hitting Doke's feet. Doke's body swayed as he swung his sword at Wang Yu's head. Seeing that Doke dared to use his sword with his back facing him, Wang Yu faintly smiled. He put away his long rod and used his burst fist to cut into Doke's back. His right hand grabbed Doke's wrist that was swinging the sword, and his left hand pressed on the back of Doke's neck. Neck break. Gotcha! With a crisp sound, Doke's head tilted to the side as he was knocked out of immobilization. Then, Wang Yu grabbed Doke's right hand and jumped half a step back. His right foot kicked Doke's calf, forcing him to kneel on one knee. Then, he stomped on Doke's back with Thunder Stomp. Doke screamed as Wang Yu grabbed his arm and stomped him to the ground. Doke was, after all, an epic boss. There was only one way to remove the Resurrection Totem, and that was to destroy the Resurrection Totem. The Resurrection Totem could only be destroyed by a heavy weapon like a greatsword. These beasts seemed to have been ordered to surround the Resurrection Totem. If the Sunset Apes did not leave their positions, the Chuanjin players would not be able to find a way to destroy the Resurrection Totem. In this way, the Sunset Apes could resurrect indefinitely. It was a vicious cycle. Fortunately, Wang Yu was holding Doke back. Otherwise, Emperor Jun's head would have been snatched away. At this thought, everyone turned to look at Wang Yu. Wang Yu was still chatting with Doke. 3 minutes? You really think too highly of me, Wang Yu said, chuckling. Doke was an epic boss. He could kill in seconds. The fact that he had spent 3 minutes dealing with a low-level player showed that he did not underestimate Wang Yu. Humph! Die! Doke snorted coldly. He then lowered his head and charged at Wang Yu. Charge was always a warrior's starting gesture. Even bosses were no exception. Seeing Doke charge at him, Wang Yu jumped back out of habit, trying to jump away from Doke's charge. However, before he could do so, Wang Yu saw Dok swing his longsword. Not charge. Wang Yu was startled. He quickly swapped his gauntlets for a staff and held it in front of him. At the same time, Dok grabbed the hilt of his sword and leaped up. Chapter 671. Duo. The sound of a longsword striking a wooden staff rang out. Dok's longsword collided with Wang Yu's staff. Rising Dragonbreaker was a level 40 warrior skill. It was a skill that could be used during the charge state. Moreover, its priority and attack power were very high. It was a better starting skill than charge. After warriors learned Rising Dragonbreaker at level 40, charge could only be used as a movement skill. Dok's sword slashed at Wang Yu. Wang Yu was knocked into the air and floated in the air. Immediately after, Dok swung his longsword, chopping at Wang Yu's legs. While in the air, the player only lost their balance. Their body could still move. Wang Yu's legs curled up. His body suddenly did a quick recover, and his palm pressed down on the top of Dok's head. Bo! Wang Yu released a chi wave from his palm. Following the recoil, a critical damage floated up above Dok's head. Although Dok's attack was interrupted, he shook his head. His body immediately sped up, his long sword slashing upwards once more. Dok's speed was incomparably fast. He left behind afterimages, slashing back and forth several times under Wang Yu's body. Wang Yu was immediately enveloped in a sheet of sword light. Fierce Dragon Slash! Seeing Dok use this skill, Wuji and Xiang couldn't help but shout out. Fierce Dragon Slash was the prerequisite skill for the warrior's ultimate skill, Dragon Breaker. It was also one of the most overpowered common skills during the closed beta. Because there were many hidden skills in Rebirth, all skills were usually divided into two categories: rare skills and common skills. Common skills were skills that could be learned from skill instructors. Under normal circumstances, common skills were slightly inferior to rare skills in terms of attack power and damage. Meanwhile, warriors were one of the classes with the highest priority. Although Fierce Dragon Slash was only a regular skill, it was much stronger than skills of the same tier and tier. Even rare skills could not compare to Fierce Dragon Slash. During the closed beta, everyone was obsessed with finding rare skills. It was Fierce Dragon Slash that allowed all players to recognize the power of common skills. It's over. This time, the old cow is really going to die, Wuji murmured. Although Wang Yu had a chi barrier, with Wang Yu's little health, Dok's chi barrier could be destroyed with a single slash from his sword. Chi barrier's invincibility duration was 2.5 seconds, and Fierce Dragon Slash's invincibility duration was 1 second longer than chi barriers. It had to be known that when Wang Yu was attacked, he couldn't equip Undying Heart. This time, there was no way he could dodge. No way, why don't we go and save him now? Ling Long Meng suggested. Do you think we can tank a skill that even Old Cow couldn't handle? Wuji glanced at Dream Butterfly. Dream Butterfly was at a loss for words. At the same time, Wang Yu stood up and rushed towards Dok. With a flip of her hand, she pulled out her long sword and mimicked Dok's movements. She used a fake, Rising Dragon Slash, from Dok's chest upwards, following Dok's throat to his chin. 21456 critical damage. Without waiting for Dok to counterattack, Wang Yu took a step forward and swung his sword horizontally, cutting through Dok's throat again. 22478 critical damage. 2 critical hits on the throat. Dok was stunned. Wang Yu's left hand reached forward and grabbed Dok's neck. At the same time, his right hand pulled out a dagger and stabbed it into Dok's heart. 11312-19875. Another string of critical damage floated up from Dok's head. When the stun effect wore off, Dok's health bar had already dropped by 10%. Seeing that Dok's stun effect wore off, Wang Yu pulled back his left hand from Dok's throat and used Ferocious Tiger Strike. Under the grab effect of Ferocious Tiger Strike, Dok was pulled forward. At the same time, Wang Yu dodged to the side and used a wrench to trip Dok to the ground. At the same time, they would obtain absolute armor. Under absolute armor, even a grab skill that specialized in breaking super armor would be useless. It could be said that this was a shield warrior's last life-saving skill. Fortunately, Dok's throw had smashed Wang Yu's chi cover. If not for the chi cover, Wang Yu's fighter physique would have been killed by Dok's 2 consecutive attacks. Dok's longsword stabbed into Wang Yu's chest. That wasn't the end of it. He raised his foot to stomp on Wang Yu. Wang Yu rolled on the ground and dodged to the side. He couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Meow. Wang Yu was all too familiar with these moves. Weren't these the moves he had used to trample on Dok? It seemed that the epic boss's battle growth not only allowed the boss to comprehend the system's moves, but it also allowed the boss to learn the player's combat technique. How shameless! After dodging the attack, Wang Yu quick recovered and stood up. He lowered his center of gravity, one hand protecting his abdomen and the other in front of his chest. He looked at Dok vigilantly, waiting for him to exhaust himself. However, Dok's foot did not land on Wang Yu. He had no intention of continuing the fight. Instead, he walked in a different direction. Wang Yu was slightly stunned. He looked in the direction that Dok was heading and cursed inwardly. Dok's target was none other than King Dijuan's head, which was surrounded by the dusk magic apes. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.